Downtown Toronto, Monday night at the Mattamy Athletic Center, and there's no place we'd rather be. Sold out, and when organizers planned this thing, the Battle of the Sexes, could they ever have imagined it'd be a Battle of the World Championship? They are as good as it gets. Mouat versus Homan, Devin, Heroux alongside Jennifer Jones and Brent, Laing. Jen, you've been in the Battle of the Sexes before. You've been on the bench with Team Homan this year. What do they got to do to bring this thing home?
Yeah, I've had a front row seat for a few games to see how exceptionally well this team is playing. They're so consistent, only losing 6 games all season. And what they've done is they set up their skipper for the big shot. And Rachel Homan, as Bruce and his team said, is a human highlight reel. She makes everything. The big shots for multiple points, the big run backs. If they can do that today, I like their chances.
Sounds like you, JJ. You always wanted that rock in the big moments. Okay, Brent, over to you wearing Scottish blue. I think I know where you stand. The biggest challenge, can these guys handle the party in Moose Jaw last night after the World Championship? Listen, these guys have been good for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't won a World Championship in a long time. I would assume they still party when you do that. It's hard to do. It's
right.
Pretty exciting. Their celebration was great on the ice, so I would assume it carried on a little. But these guys are the best team in the world for a reason, Devin. I mean, 3 Grand Slam wins, 2 World Championships in the last 3 years, coming in as the #1 ranked team, men's team in the world. And I think Rachel said it all today on social media when she said she talked to a couple of the top 5 men's skips teams, looking for some advice. What's the mindset? And they all basically said the same thing. You got to pray to the curling gods and hope for the best, hope for some breaks. And I think that's a good strategy, Devin, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like a winning strategy. All right, we'll find out. We are almost set for this game. A buzz around the Mattamy Athletic Center. It is a skins game. The teams are playing for charity, so this is shaping up to be an extraordinary night. We'll get set for the players, intros, and then the draw to the button. I understand there's going to be a wrinkle there.
Maybe.
So stay tuned. We've got the coverage right from the Mattamy Athletic Center in the center of the curling universe here tonight in Toronto.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
It's absolutely electric in here, and the waiting is almost over. This place is packed. It is, like I said, the hottest ticket in town, downtown Toronto. A Monday night at the Mattamy Athletic Center, and my goodness, I mean, you can see the teams there getting ready to shoot out of the tunnel. We were with them before the game. They look so ready to go, and so let's get to this thing. Down to ice level, let's meet the teams. Robbie Doherty.
Welcome to the Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes. Let's meet the teams. First up, throwing the yellow rocks, curling out of Stirling, Scotland, the newly crowned World Men's Curling Champions, Team Mouat. Lead, Hammy McMillan. Second, Bobby Lemmy. Third, Grant Hardy. And the skip, Bruce Mouat. And their opponents, throwing the red rocks, curling out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, the reigning World Women's Curling Champions, Team Homan. Lead, Sarah Wilkes. Second, Emma Miskew. Third, Tracy Fleury. Curling fans, it's showtime!
Well, I felt like I was shot out of a cannon there, you two. The teams look like they are ready to go as well. I can't recall a time when there's been this much buzz and excitement around a game.
I can't either. It's just the thrill in this building, the energy even walking in the building. Fans were lined up all the way down the street. And since I retired, I've been really good with retirement. But then I sit here and it's like, this would be fun.
You've been good with retirement, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part, I would agree.
Exactly. Okay, let's go to ice level. Robbie Doherty with the skips ahead of this Battle of the World Champions.
Thank you very much, Devin. I'm here with both skips. I've got Rachel and Bruce. Rachel, here we are. It's the Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes. A different opponent than you normally face in Team Mouat. What do you expect to see from the world champions tonight?
After watching their final, they were pretty good, so I think they're good enough, I guess. So yeah, I'm sure we're going to see more of the same.
Bruce, you have a little bit of a shorter break between your World Championship finals and Rachel. How's the team feeling coming into this one?
Yeah, we didn't really work that hard last week, so we're here just for this game, just to win this one, you know?
Rachel, obviously, you know you're up against a tough team. Can we expect maybe a little different strategy from your team tonight?
Skins game, so yeah, I'm sure there's going to be lots of rocks in play, definitely a different strategy, and hope they miss more shots than we do.
Well, listen, Bruce, you're the #1 in the world. A lot of people expecting you to win this game tonight. Are you feeling a little extra pressure?
Yeah, it should be fun though. Like, we're here for charity, obviously. Like, that's the big thing. We're really excited that we get to raise some money for both our charities, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So let's have a good night.
Very good. We're going to begin with draws to the button for Hammer. It's going to be Team Homan who throws first. So we'll let you take your positions. But there's a twist. Team Mouat, you guys get to choose who's throwing the draw to the button for Team Homan.
Emma, why don't you try?
Emma Miskew, you are up to throw the draw to the button. And there's another twist. Immediately following, your team is going to be throwing Bruce, and Team Homan, you get to choose who throws for Team Mouat.
Is it too early to use the no sweep button?
That's not a question for me, but
Bobby didn't like his rocks. I think Bobby didn't like his rocks, so we'll pick Bobby.
there we go. First chirp. So it's going to be Emma and Bobby Lammy throwing the draws to the button for each team. There you go. We're going to find out who has Hammer coming up momentarily.
And that is exactly the type of energy we wanted, Brent, going into this one.
Yeah, Rachel, her usual kind of funny self, and Bruce playing himself into the Canadians' hands, I think, a little bit. And he had some comments last week how much they love playing in Canada. And so as much as once the game starts, it's all fun and games until, you know, you get punched in the face and give up a couple skins. And so it should be interesting. But I think smart choices with the draws to the button. We used to hide our worst player at second, so that's who I would have chosen.
I was just going to ask you that. I noticed both seconds went up there. You played second.
Yeah, no, that's where you used to hide your worst players, but you can't hide any bad players anymore. I don't know if you know that yet, but that's why I quit.
After watching Bobby Lammy at the Men's World Curling Championship, I don't know if that's the case. We should set the scene here. It is a skins game, Jen, so maybe we can just alert our audience about how a skins format works with needing to score 2 with the hammer to win that skin, and then a steal without hammer, obviously, to win the skin on the other side of things.
Yeah, I absolutely love skins because there's always lots of rocks in play, and so you need 2 to get a skin, or you need to steal 1 without hammer, and you get the skin. But here we are with the draw to the button, so Emma Miskew, and usually when you practice, Brent, like, you make sure that the person who's throwing the draw to the button throws last, so they get the right speed, the right path. But I was watching warm-up, and they did their normal. Well, Rachel threw last, so Emma would have thrown earlier in the practice. Kind of a guess.
All right, here we go. Emma Miskew with the first draw to the button here in the Battle of the Sexes.
I would have been nervous sliding out of that tunnel, but this would be 10 times that. Even just sliding through that tunnel would have got my heart rate going, but.
This looks a little bit strong. And again, that's, again,
Look
Anna,
at Bruce heating up. He's heating up his broom.
you can't sweep the draw the button. Oh.
Oh, doesn't need any help. 1-0 for the blue guys, I think, so far.
Oh, that could have been their strategy, though, Brent. You know,
It's
they
true,
they might want to steal in the first
Well,
end.
listen, I will remind you, throughout the Men's World Championship, I think Scotland didn't start any of those playoff games with hammer.
No,
So maybe they're trying to flip the script here.
they're unbelievable. And this is, now there's a lot of pressure on Bobby here because you only have to hit the rings.
This one's cruising, too. They want a rethrow, maybe. Who? Uh-oh. Hammy hates it. We got a tie here.
Was it? I mean, was this part of the rule book? If they both blow them through the rings,
The game's over, I think.
oh my goodness!
Oh,
This
it's
is
perfect.
just gonna
It's
hold on.
perfect.
But that goes back to the seconds would have thrown earlier in the practice, not knowing, and it's usually a little bit heavier. A little bit of a guess, but Bobby guessed a foot better than Emma.
I heard late in the practice they were saying 14-6 to the top 4, and that's crazy fast for first game at a slam. So could have been a little fooled there. And back to the hammer point, I mean, in skins, some teams do prefer to steal. Right or wrong, I mean, everybody has a bit of an idea. Teams of today haven't played as much skins. We used to be fortunate and play a lot more skins back in the day, but definitely an interesting format. Look forward to seeing how they both handle it.
Now, there isn't a blank available in skins, but there is a carryover. So if a team does not score 2 or more points with hammer, or the other team does not steal a point, then the skin is carried over and nobody would win. So, for example, if somebody blanked or only scored 1 with hammer, then we would have a carryover.
You're seeing in the background there, the coaching bench is absolutely packed here at the Mattamy Athletics Center, and it looks like Team Marana is going to be coaching Team Homan in this game. They're wearing the hats and ready to go, and the Homan Empire hoodies as well, so they are in fine form to be coaching throughout this one. And in the back there, behind the handshakes and the preparation here, you'll see Grant Hardy giving John Cullen and former Raptor Matt Bonner the Red Rocket on the bench. And I wonder what insights Matt Bonner might be sharing with the boys from Scotland in this one.
Well, I know he's a big curling fan from his Raptor days. I think he's somebody said he was a 2-time NBA champion. So champions, you know, winners win, Devin.
Winners
so
win.
You want winners on your bench.
All right, so those are the coaches. That's the scene here and the rules for this game, this skins game, Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the World Champions, and we are underway here at Mattamy. Sarah Wilkes.
So now the goal here in skins is to try to set up a guard to create that steal opportunity for Team Homan. So Sarah wants this in the free guard zone if she can.
All of the other rules still apply. The no-tick rule, the 5-rock free guard zone, all of those regular rules. Generally in the skins, you don't see many hits early and ends. Both teams kind of set it up early, and then you'll see some human highlight reels, as you said, for Rachel. I think this suits her game really well as the, I don't know, were you the coach, weren't you the coach? As someone who sat on the bench and watched a lot of Team Homan, what's the key to their success, Jen?
Got better rooms. Not curls
Just
yet.
making the big shots when
Eyes
they have
good.
to.
Got
Even when
better
they get themselves in trouble, they'll make one big shot in an end, and they don't give up very many steals. So Rachel's playing very well, drawing very well, making all kinds of big shots, and bailing her team out of trouble. And also the team in front of her, Tracy, Emma, and Sarah are so consistent that she doesn't get in trouble very often.
Just saw Hammy McMillan Jr. deliver his first stone of the game. I was with them all at the airport, and Hammy McMillan Sr. was sending his son and the Scottish team well wishes in this game tonight. And of course, Hammy Sr. won a World Championship on Canadian soil as well, so they do enjoy playing in Canada.
There really is nothing like playing curling in Canada. For a lot of these international teams, they love when the World Championship is in Canada. So you can see Team Mouat's not afraid of those center guards, and do you know why? Because they make more runbacks than I've seen ever. Even our daughter, Isabella, is like, Mom, they call it to hit an inch of this rock and they hit an inch. It's like amazing, and it truly is. I've never seen more precise run backs by any team ever in curling. They're so good at them, and it's why they won the World Championship. Grant Hardy made, I don't even know how many.
All of them.
Yeah. So they're going to try to get around this corner guard, and that's hopefully their second point. Rachel Homan and her team cannot remove that guard from play. I would expect another guard to go up, another center guard.
Okay. Completely fresh.
Thinking about the chip and roll, doesn't want to leave that second point buried. Time clocks are in play, and again, normal time. Skins game gets a little bit more messy, we'll say generally. There's not very many ends off, so time is a factor.
Do you think there's too much time in curling?
I do personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think as much time as you're going to give them, curlers are going to use.
Always.
Right.
Always. And you can't blame them either. I mean, there's situations you could talk about, you know, almost a situation in every end could warrant a 1 or 2 minute conversation, but I think you're dead on there, Devin, that no matter how much, we'll find a way to use it. You know, playing with Team Cooey and Team McEwen, two guys that are two of the smartest skips, but maybe take a little longer than most. Didn't matter how much time we had left. It was like, we're going to be rushed at the end.
Yep. Maybe add a timeout in the first 4 ends or 5 ends, and add another one in the back end. I think that would change things up.
Maybe we'll try to get that done.
Okay, give me that.
Emma Miskew welding one on.
Buried under the reds.
Unfortunately, Devin had over curled a little bit, so they're not shot rock.
Practice, so 14.
A first look at the most popular curler in the Lang Jones house, Bobby Lammy, hard bub. Bella and Skylar love that, and Bobby's just fun to watch. The shots he makes, the sweeping, it looks like his body's going to explode to me. Looks like his shoulders for sure, but he's 2 or 3 years younger than me, so he'll be fine.
T-line. Line's good. Line's real good.
Once this one above the T-line, second shot. Rachel's probably going to follow this almost no matter where it is.
Good effort, bub.
Sliding.
Sweet.
And continuing to slide into the back 8. And so let's take a look at the rules of the Battle of the Sexes. A team that has hammer, again, must score 2 points to win the skin. The team without the hammer must steal at least 1 point to win. And of course, if neither team wins the skin, it's going to carry over $1,000 for the first 6 ends, and then up the ante for the final 2 ends, $2,000 in the 7th and $2,000 in the 8th. As we look at Emma Miskew and her final stone here in the first end as we get underway at a sold-out Mattamy Center here in Toronto.
No, you're not surprising. I mean, Emma's missing this a little bit light. They've swept it the whole way. And when they get it in for shot rock, what a sweep from Sarah Wilkes. It's close, but it looks like red is shot rock, and everybody's been missing heavy, so you're not surprised when they miss light.
Or that, hair high. Okay, try and plant it. Yep.
Back to the run backs, as you said, Jen. The best, well, they're the best in the world at the soft and the hard stuff. I think that's why they're the best in the world.
These are always a little bit hard on fresh ice. They curled a little bit more than you're expecting them to.
Yep.
Bobby Lammy with his second. In the first stand. Already probably more granite in play than Homan is used to in the first stand.
Lucky break there for the boys. That curled on him, like you said, Jen. It was like he queued it up and heard you, but it almost killed shot rock, but slid by. But still a good opportunity for Team Homan here to lie 2 behind a center guard.
It's hard to get there. You have to take the out.
Got this.
She knows what's coming next.
Double should be there. Just run right to here.
Yeah, we need to take the out turn, I think.
Okay, 13-6 to here.
Okay. Yeah, 14.
We've been coming here for 10 years, though, Devin, and this is, like you said, this is the most packed I've seen it in all. I mean, you can't get back. Been sold out.
Right to it if you can.
Team Homan knows that the run back's going to happen, so they're trying to freeze to the back yellow stone. You might wonder, why don't they just go to the button? Because if they go to the button, there'd be a run double. And if they can go all the way to the back stone and freeze it, it basically eliminates that stone from scoring.
Keep going. Separation. 7. Line's great.
This one's coming down a little. And one thing that doesn't really change for the most part in the skins game is when you don't have the hammer, you don't have control. So as much as you're playing offensive shots, this is a defensive shot for Rachel, trying to freeze one in there they can't get rid of. But outcounts that second shot. And Hammy made that. Jen said that's their second point, and perfection there from Tracy Fleury, no surprise.
You know what I was interested coming into this game, obviously Scotland in the emotional high of the weekend at the World Championship, you know, 24 hours later after winning the world title, you got to play this big game. I was interested, you guys, in seeing what their energy and their demeanor would be coming into this game. They already look like they're locked in a playoff game.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is the competitive fire, but also the charity they're playing for, I know means a lot to them.
Didn't mind it. Got real close. Fraction light.
Brent Hardy now,
Line's good.
who was absolutely spectacular in that win over Canada. I don't think he missed.
No, he didn't. He just quietly goes about his business and makes shot after shot after shot, but not easy shots. I think my jaw drops every time he makes a shot. Look at this sweep. They just get that by.
Is it too early to talk about the sweeping?
Oh, it's never too early to talk about sweeping, Devin. That's all we talk about.
And what about the foams being used?
I think they have foam in their brooms, yep.
I don't think they're using the same foam.
They are not. I was able to confirm that they are not using the same foam that they were using at the World Championship. It is a bit of a softer foam for this game, but that was one of the conversations going into this, right? About the power of both teams. And that advantage in sweeping, the stroke speed and the pressure you're putting down as well.
Yeah, so Team Homan is using their normal brooms, the brooms that they used, and Team Mouat agreed to use a softer foam, which would be a little bit less effective to kind of maybe level the playing field.
Even if we come around, it's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how strong or fast, you know,
You want it around or you want it?
Emma and Sarah get, two of the best sweepers in the world. They're never going to be as big as Bobby and Hammy, so if they both swept the same, Bobby and Hammy are going to get more pressure, and that's one of the keys to sweeping. So Rachel was, in talking to her before the game, they didn't want to switch to some of the, without going too far down the rabbit hole, Devin, the other broom heads, and they wanted to kind of stick with what they're going to do this week to not screw too many line calls up.
Tracy Fleury now delivering her last here in the first stand.
6, 7, 6. Live good, just for wait. Live good. 8. Line only.
The sweepers got a little bit fooled on this stone. They thought it was a little bit lighter. And I think that's going to slide a little bit too far.
I think that rock's slow. 5.
You know, one of the things, and Jen, you would know this better than any of us, is the information sharing for Team Homan. They are talking, you just heard Emma just now talking about that rock, but every single shot they are dissecting, they're sharing information, whether it be weight, line, or what rock they like or don't like. And when you do that over a course of a game, you're going to make a lot more shots than you're going to miss.
And all the top teams do it, and in order to be a top team, you have to be great at that communication, and you're going to hear it all week this week at the Grand Slam. Big opportunity for Grant Hardy. Trying to sit and lie too.
Hard line.
Line's good. Not very many good spots for this. Can't be behind the button and let them follow down and freeze for shot. Can't leave it half open top 8, because then there'll be a very makeable double, if not a triple, for Rachel. The human highlight reel, as we're going to call it, right? And if it's just past it,
it's all right.
Perfect,
It's
actually.
actually accidentally really good, I think.
I think it might, the yellow might go jam on the side yellow behind the corner guard.
I think it'll come up just a little bit.
Is she eyeing just picking this out?
She is, yeah. Pick that out and lie 3.
Problem is that those staggers at the top, Brent, I would think Bruce Mouat's going to try to draw behind.
You probably have to play the out-turn draw, and then if Rachel takes that away, you still got some taps and stuff, so you're... I would agree with you, Jen. I don't want to agree with you all night long, but I'll agree with you there. I'm wearing a blue shirt and you're wearing a pink shirt for a reason.
Yes, we know where you two stand on this one as we take a look at the 2-time defending world champion Rachel Homan delivering her first in the first stand of this Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes Little wide.
Definitely went straight. Very straight. Fell the whole way. Yeah.
You can hear them again talking about that spot really straight. I think that was, they didn't love it early, and it just never grabbed any fresh pebble, and now Bruce needs to find a way to get another one in there. She's not going to miss it again.
No, I don't believe she is. And again, going back to skins, Team Mouat needs 2 points, so they don't want to just guard, because it would be very difficult to score 2.
Like a quiet, like, hit and roll over.
What are they looking at here, Jen?
Yeah.
You're looking at the draw basically around everything, just to bite the T line on the side forefoot. It would be very difficult for Rachel to remove both the yellow stones if he can place this correctly.
Yeah, you're 14-7 in both those in practice.
Yep.
Bruce Mouat, 2 world titles in the last 3 years, both won on Canadian soil in 2023 in Ottawa, and just last night in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, settles in to throw his first.
Make sure you're past this.
Make sure you're
T-line.
Back 4.
Make sure you're past it.
Hard line.
Where are you?
Short. Well then, whoa.
Hard
They
still,
are
yep,
going
yep.
to lean
Stop,
on
copy,
this one.
Copy. Corner
Hard
free.
still,
Hammy and
Copy.
Lammy calling a bit of an audible, weren't they?
They got fooled on that, but it worked out okay. There's really no access to shot stone. They thought it was back 4. That's they just got fooled on it a little bit. Fresh pebble.
What do you see here, Brent?
You maybe play it with control.
It looks like it's going to be a carryover a lot of times, but they're eyeing up a hit. She thinks she can see enough of this red one.
You have a small, you have a little. Yeah.
So it's probably more of a hack weight hit and roll to the button would be my thought, and I think that's the best call they have.
And then Bruce will have this angle corner run in.
Yeah, depending on how far she rolls,
I
but
don't know if we can see enough.
not uncommon to see a couple of mistakes, especially in the first end of the first game of the
I don't
week.
mind solid
Still
hack.
figuring out the
Can't
ice.
see much. It's a little sticky here for me. Yeah, I got a 15 on yours. Yeah.
I think you can hear as a crowd roars as Rachel makes her way down to the hack, who they're cheering for here in Toronto tonight is Homan.
Small quarter. Yeah, I think I need hack. Okay.
Settles in for her last here in the first end, hoping to shut this thing down and at least carry that skin over into end number 2.
14.5 to tee here, so close to 13.5.
11. Close, yep. Clean. Close. Yep. 11. Hard. Yep. Hard. Hack. Hard.
They're going to have to lean on this one.
Whoa.
And they've lost it all over that top guard.
And the problem now is it opened up this in-turn draw for Bruce to score his 2 points. There's now a hole.
15. I got 15-4 on yours.
Yep.
Same shot he had 24 hours ago.
I was just
to win the
about to
World
say.
Championship. Different ice, different towns. It feels like this guy just loves stealing from Canada.
Yep. He has made a living of it in this country, hasn't he? And he's been very open about that, about how much he loves playing in Canada. And I would say for a team that
2 inches more.
does as well as they are and has been as dominant as they are, they're beloved by Canadian curling fans.
They're impossible not to like.
Yeah, you love to hate your opponent, and it's hard to not like these guys, unfortunately.
Bruce Mouat drawing for the opening skin in this Battle of the World Championship teams here.
Hard line.
Gotta go. Wait's good.
They've lost a couple of them to line and weight here early on as they map things out, but these guys are trying to guide this one to the forefoot, and it looks like this is going to be just fine. A little bit of a rub and a roll for the opening skin of this Battle of the Sexes game here at the Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. So the world champions from one night ago open up the scoring here in Toronto.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsocktickets.com. Let's rock.
Second end of this Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, and you can see the Scottish team, Bruce Mouat, and his world champion team out of Scotland leading, getting that opening skin and Jan. I mean, a mess in the house.
That was dirty. Come on, he rubbed the guard. Team Homan played a great end.
Skin should have carried over, right, Brent?
Ah.
It doesn't matter. That's all how they end up, not how you get them there.
So how about this? Let's take a look at the records this season. These two teams have been absolutely dominant, haven't they? Team Homan 69-6 this season. Another Scotties title, another World Championship title. Team Mouat 81-18 this season. Those are just eye-popping numbers. And I think it's probably fair to say these two teams are enjoying some of the greatest stretches of curling we've ever seen.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, 81 wins in a year for Team Mouat and 6 losses for Team Homan. That's both crazy. We used to say if you win 75% of your games, you're going to have a great year. And they're at 82 and 92.
And you look at the fitness level.
Always Brent.
I can't believe Bobby still has a shoulder. The way, like how hard he sleeps, and he's just swept for 2 solid weeks, and here he is again.
Nice spot, Hammy. Well done.
Not surprising. Bruce and his team have a plan. They want to put up double centers, try to congest that middle.
Okay, this is good here, and it swoops back pretty hard. Okay, this is a 5. Okay.
As we take a look at Sarah Wilkes getting ready to deliver here in the second end, just a quick note on the charities the teams are playing for. Team Homan has selected the Sandra Schmirler Foundation, and obviously, you know, this foundation has positively affected so many lives for so long. Since 2001, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has raised and given over $9 million, purchasing life-saving equipment for neonatal intensive care units, over 105 hospitals in every Canadian province and territory. And for Team Mouat, they have selected the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser. Charlie is a close friend. We're thinking about him. I talked to Grant about Charlie. He said he sent the team a note every day this week. He's battling stage 4 nodular malignant melanoma. And so Team Mouat is joining Charlie's fight to raise funds for research and development, leading to more trials, as well as raising awareness of this rare disease. Charlie, we're thinking about you, all of us here. We're sending you our best. And I know you're hoping for a Scottish win tonight. So those are the two charities as we settle in the second end of this Battle of the Sexes.
It's actually a little interesting, Brent, when I'm looking at the draw weight, it looks like one side of the sheet is quite a bit heavier than the other, and they're getting fooled. And it could be the difference between, you know, one team was on one side and the other was on the other. Do you think that makes a difference?
It can for sure, but I mean, they weren't fooled by Bruce's last one on the same side. So maybe Rachel was right when they picked Bobby, saying he didn't like his rocks, because they were really fooled by that one. It almost looked like it picked, but could just be what we would call a cutter, which in a skins game, if you can figure it out, that sure is a weapon.
Team Homan thought that Sarah's was back 4, back 8, and it ended up top button as well. What a nice shot from Emma Miskew. So how do you get out of this if you're Team Mouat?
Probably play a run back.
Except that the guard's so long. I think you're going to have to tap.
You could tap or you could throw some peel weight and try and hit like an
Normal.
8 to that and just get it open or
Easy
something.
peel.
Yeah, just move it out from
What?
behind the guards. You got
Easy
triple
peel.
centers now.
Okay.
This could be a rope-a-dope we're looking at here, Jen. That might have been on purpose, top 12.
Here, Les. It's a big bit. But
Whoa. Whoa.
Bobby
Heroux.
Lammy now trying to clean things up here.
Heroux.
right to it.
Picked it clean. That's hard to do.
That was very hard to do. Not a lot of space between those two red rocks. Homan sitting pretty top button and trying to bring another one in there, Jen.
Yeah, if they can actually freeze right on the nose, it's big trouble for Team Mouat.
Almost anything else isn't very good, though, is it? You don't want to be able to leave them any kind of double or anything to kind of tap and leave a pocket.
Don't leave a double. 8. Yep. Yep. Are we by? Yes. That's where we're going. 7. Don't need to go for weight.
I think they're trying to get it by here now. They're not loving the line and the weight, so.
Calling an audible here and bringing it back.
Keep going. Keep going.
And that'll come to stop at the back 4. Homan sitting 2 with hammer. It looks like Mouat wants to shut things down here with a corner freeze.
I believe if they get the corner freeze perfect, they will be second shot and eliminate that back stone. That was a mistake from Emma. You want to be short of that red stone if you can be.
Line's good.
Wait, real close.
Easy. Low Baron.
Easy, easy.
Line's close.
Line's good.
Top 4.
On the back one.
Yep, then. Whoa,
We're
whoa.
close to
Line's
top
good.
one.
On the top one. On the
The
top one.
decision
Gotta
here
go.
by the sweeper is not
Really
quite
gotta go.
sure. This is
Really
really
gotta go, Bob.
curling. They lost it again.
Kind of just bomb dives from the hog line in, doesn't it?
Come down there quite a bit
Are
first.
we sure they don't have the old berms?
Just don't worry about the hog line just coming down.
They got fooled again. I think it's just a different line. It's a little bit heavier on fresh ice.
You're sticking with your story.
I
eh?
am.
I still
I've
don't
seen it.
believe you.
Well, we can go back and watch the replay.
Are you there?
I might.
This is what we're here for, you two.
The battle of the broadcasters.
Battle of the broadcasters, exactly.
They're all gone. No, mine either.
Didn't
If
we
you
already
look,
play a
it's
Battle of the
probably
Sexes
freezing
years
back
ago?
here.
Yeah, you kicked our butt.
Oh, it wasn't
Yeah,
me.
what
It
year was that?
I don't even remember.
1986.
That was the year I was born.
I actually don't know the year for sure, but it was, I would say, late 2000s. Because
Yeah.
it was Glenn and Rich and Craig and myself. And,
That's right.
I
Was
think
that a Skins game?
It was at
Yeah.
Casino Rama, which was pretty cool setup as well. But the made for TV, I think the Skins game was a good choice for this game because it is almost never over and just guaranteed entertainment every end.
2.5.
Tracy
Hard
Fleury now with her first here in the second end. Team Homan looking to generate that multi-point score to steal their first skin of this
Hard
game.
line. Step. 2.5. 2. Really hard line. Coming down. Really hard line. It's a 2.
You like a guard here, Jen? I'm a little bit skeptical.
I think they're just very worried about, and I would be too, Team Mouat's run back ability,
Seeing the
but that
draw?
is not what they wanted. It's left this
Let's
draw
try it, top.
available, and then that
Whatever
a
you
yellow
see.
stone at the top of the house is accessible.
Sling in the draw, sit T line.
Best, but that's the current T line. This is real good, obviously.
Yep.
Definitely possible to get second shot.
14-5
I think they can get shot rock.
The old Benoit from the World Championship.
Oh,
That draw for two, I saw that one.
That was one of the best draws I've ever seen.
Absolutely incredible. Magic. I mean, he had what, an inch of the pin, and it took a spin to the pin and needed to be perfect right on the tee line, and he did it. And that's what Grant Hardy is trying to do right here with his last here in the second.
Wait's good.
Still line only.
The way this thing is curling right now, it's
Still line only.
going to be close.
Just a little bit strong, I think.
Wow.
Benoit's in the house.
Wow. How about that? Who shot?
Well, obviously yellow because Jen said it was possible and I said it wasn't. 0 for 2. 3 strikes and you're out.
Very nice. If that stops right there above the tee line, oh boy.
Wow, how about that?
They don't have to move it very far. And
follow it down?
Follow it down. Just try to tap it an inch.
I think you have to. It looks awful from the hack, I'm sure.
They are.
Yeah, So that confirms Jennifer was correct.
Yeah, not possible. They cleared the guard by a lot, too. They could have got right to the
We're not
pin.
recording this or anything, are we? Like, this isn't going to be anywhere?
There might be a few watching, and hello to curling fans across Canada and around the world. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and what a situation this was. You know, when you plan something like this, you could have never imagined that it would be the two world champions. And I know my DMs and social medias were buzzing when that happened last night. And so here we are, the two world champions squaring off in this Battle of the Sexes game.
Lots of room. Okay, weight's a little light.
And I guess they are going to just follow it right down.
Yellow line. Needs to curl.
It's not really a line shot here. Just needs to get the speed right, and it will always curl.
Go. Gotta go.
You almost can't believe you have to go out that far.
That's okay. Really curly.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If everybody's missing light and tight, you just got to show me you're paying attention, and miss one wide and heavy, and you probably won't. You'll probably be perfect.
Are we shot?
As silly as that sounds. Just got to take away this run back now, which is makeable for one. I don't know. Well, Jennifer, tell me. Can you make it for two if they miss this guard?
I don't think so.
Looks like it just jams on the back and you probably roll off, but you could score one. It's the only shot they have.
Yeah, I don't think there's an angle there on that as we look at it. Right side of the sheet can you get that red? Is an angle there?
That camera angle looked like it might be, but I think from the straight on camera, it looked like it may clip the yellow.
I think they might have the halfway corner guard on the other side into the top red into the yellow.
Halfway.
There, I've got a good angle here.
Hard then. You're okay.
Halfway. Going to need a highlight shot.
They want this to be fairly long because Rachel may play the double run.
Halfway long. Don't curl.
I don't think you ever want to curl this one. Everything's over curled in this spot.
And this one is as well. Mouat on his first just wants this thing to dig in, and that should do the trick. But again, as we look at it right now on the left side, is there an angle there for that red into that pile? That feels like a Rachel Homan special if we've ever seen one.
That is definitely there. It's a question of whether she tries it now. I think if she doesn't, Team Mouat might take it away.
That's what I'm seeing. If you hit it a little thin, you might take the yellow. Might clip that.
Yeah, got some
Top it up.
I like it. Are you throwing peel?
I think so. You want to throw peel? I think so.
So they're throwing it hard. They're saying if they hit those yellows at the top of the 12-foot, it may actually, one yellow may redirect off the back of the other yellow and come and tap their redstone for shot. Or if they can clear everything, it would be to lie 2 or maybe even 3, Brent.
I think it's there to lie 3. And I mean, the end of the yellows, I agree. And it could go really badly, though. I think there's a spot you could hit it and actually double out the 2 reds in the 4-foot. Hate to put that out into the universe, but Rachel will hit this perfect. We know that, right? And lie 2 here and put some serious heat on Team Mouat.
You know the locals would love to see that.
Oh, yeah, they'd go crazy. That's a big shot here from Rachel Homan. She's going to be close.
All right, we wondered if it was there. Rachel thinks it is, and so here we go.
Close, yeah, hard. Hard.
He had a big move there. You could hear they weren't saying much, and then all of a sudden just kind of gone.
And that seems to be the story of this end, doesn't it?
Some over curls, still some fresh ice out there, some unknowns, but.
Now what do you play?
Sure.
Well, I don't think Bruce wants to leave her that a second time.
Pretty hard.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Just try and sit here. Yeah, you just don't want to leave the angle run, but
I think you're either guarding the angle run.
Yeah, you can throw it. So if it's, same shot.
you're still leaving the angle run for 2 if you do that.
No, if you're there.
He runs the yellow for 2.
I think we're hitting roll. Okay. Normal. Yep. And throw control.
So I think they've decided on the hit and roll towards the middle. I think
you
with
rolling
control
here,
weight, you can't really hurt yourself. So anything, roll it right to the center line, and I don't think Rachel's going to have to come up with some kind of tic-tac-toe combo.
And then that takes the draw and that off.
A massive granite all over the sheet here in the second end, and buckle in because I think that's probably going to be a common theme throughout this night with this skins game format. A lot of rocks, a lot of entertainment between the two top-ranked teams in the world. Mouat with his last here in the second end.
And they changed the call. This is what I like. They're throwing a long guard on the red guard.
Line's good.
And even if he can corner freeze, they're saying it's a little bit heavy.
Not bad, no. Then.
You always like the hardest shot. Do you want to hit anywhere on the inside, or do you want to draw to the edge?
I like to win, so I like to make
show off.
We're good now.
Show off.
It's good.
It's perfect.
Curl.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. So now what, Jen?
I don't know, to be honest. There's a double run, maybe.
Double run 45-footer, but
Run their guard. Run their guard into ours. Yeah. Do you think if you throw a back line,
I don't know if there's a
that's a
hole.
decent sized hole, it's that or like this. This looks really hard.
What about the yellow? Like,
that's a pretty small port to touch this.
they're all pretty hard, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your hard.
So they're looking at this port here on the left side of our screen as we look at it. You're playing what, like backing weight or just a tap?
Just if you touch that red one at all, if you get by the top 12 one, like if you can match the line and weight, if you get tight to that top 12 one, it's going to touch the red, it'll end up shot. It's going to look terrible from the hack, and it's only for one. But the rest of them.
Run their yellow?
I like the double run on the left-hand side, red to yellow.
Well, if I hit this, it probably taps us up too. Yeah. If I just whisker it, what do you think? Just straight yellow? Yeah, I think so.
the yellow?
Why don't we do it? Sure.
Okay, so they've made their decision. This yellow on the left of your screen, all the way back through the port, make contact with that top red onto the back yellow and get your skin. Easy.
Just got to hit the first one in the right spot. Pretty simple.
What he says to me when we play mixed doubles.
I would never say that to you. I value my life, and I learned my lesson.
All right, here we go. Rachel Homan with her last here in the second end. Team Mouat picking up the first skin of the game, looking to steal a second, but Homan has other plans right here. And that works. Move them all and move that skin to the next end.
That was dirty too, but we'll take it.
All right, you saw in the background Team Rana coaching this team. They held up the good. They love it, and they love it here in Toronto. My goodness, a carryover entertainment. It's all that we asked for. The third end coming up.
Rio Mare. Great taste means little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
Welcome back, a carryover. We're getting set for the third end, but before we do that, down to ice level, Robbie Doherty alongside Hammy McMillan Jr.
That's right, I'm here with Hammy McMillan. Hammy, 2 ends in the books, just over 24 hours after you played the World Championship final. You and Bobby, the front end, a lot of sweeping. How you feeling?
Tired, extremely tired. We didn't get much sleep last night. We had a 5 a.m. flight from Regina to here, so I think we stayed up, went straight to the airport. Our coach Mikey, who's on the bench over there, kindly was the designated driver, so he drove us at 3 a.m. this morning. So yeah, tired, well hungover, but we're good.
An honest answer, but you certainly do not look tired. Third end coming up.
Well, you know they had a party, and from what I understand, I did some investigative journalism on what the party looked like last night at Moose Jaw. They opened up Bobby's Place, Scottish owned, normally closed on a Sunday night in Moose Jaw, but they weren't going to deny a party for the world champions, and I have seen some footage from inside the establishment, and it's fair to say they made the most of it, as Hammy just told us.
I think they had a good time. And you know what? You don't win world championships very often, so it's time to celebrate. Would have been better, though, if that was named Bubs. We should have a restaurant, Bubs.
Bubs.
Yeah. Bubs, bubbly. I think it works.
It works. Okay, so important to point out here as we settle in for the third end that the hammer flips, obviously, but a bunch of rocks got moving, and it wasn't how they drew it up, but that skin is going to carry over from the second to the third end. So Team Mouat has a hammer now, and this skin here in the third is worth $2,000.
In the skins game, I don't know how you feel, Jen, but it always feels like a relief when you get that first skin on the board. You know, there's always the fear, and it can happen to anybody. The longer it goes, the harder it feels like, you know, the more it feels like you're losing. It's, you know, whoever wins this skin will be in the lead regardless of which team, but I think it's important for Team Homan to get on the board here soon, just for their psyche. I've been on both sides of it, and it feels a lot worse than it should, but you don't want to get down 3 skins early.
Listen, I understand they want to put on a show and they want to make it entertaining. The first 2 ends have been rather complicated. Coach Jennifer Jones, what do you want to see from Team Homan in this third end?
Just more of what they're doing. Get it complicated, make one big shot. They just haven't made that one big shot that they need to make and to win the skin.
Well, they made that one big fluke last end to steal the money away that Team Scotland had already earned.
Yeah, they made a big shot, but they just they made it.
Not the one they drew up.
Or, yeah.
That happens a lot in skins, too, because there's just shrapnel everywhere. Lots of little wicky-tickies, and, you know, you throw it hard and get it close, and good things can happen. That was very fortunate, but we are where we are. No pictures on the scorecard. Same setup as the first end here. This is known as the box now. That was a new curling term I heard recently.
Yeah, they used it all the time at the World Championship. I still call it centered corners, but.
So that last end, we obviously saw both teams get caught in the ice conditions, some over curl, and we'll see if, as this thing continues to go along, they're able to map that out. And of course, these two teams are going to love the fact that they get a game under their belts before they go into the Players' Championship this week here at the Mattamy Athletics Center. That all starts tomorrow, and of course, it'll reach a climax with the championships on Sunday.
Guard, but I think they'll be too close unless we line it up with that. Yeah, I think it's just very. What do you like? My first thought was around, but just around it. Okay.
Rachel's still concerned. I won't use the word afraid, or concerned with the ability for
Probably
Bobby to make those
back
run backs.
for separation. Okay.
I agree. I actually agree with that concern. I like the long guard in this situation.
She talked about going around the corner guard. She was so worried about it, and I don't think that helps her much.
Wait only. Wait only. Looks like a lot. Whoa. Off. Yeah. 8. Just curl. No. 8's there. 8.
So I'm thinking it's a little heavy.
14.
As long as it stays in the 8-foot, it's just want to make sure that one on the top 12-foot doesn't count.
Yeah, more than I thought.
Yeah, it just seems faster going.
So you can hear them again, Jen, maybe agreeing with you.
That side of the sheet is faster, yep.
Do we think so?
I think so, yep.
I'm going to start to buy into that.
And with only one guard in play, Bruce is now wanting to eliminate the stone at the top of the house, maybe bring that other yellow into play. And that's why I like 2 guards in this situation.
This is about to get messy for Team Homan, and not messy enough, but dangerous.
Now Team Homan either has to hit and roll.
Which is exactly, Jam, what they're going to do.
Not much danger here for Team Mouat is the downside for Team Homan. They're going to be on the On the edge of giving up a deuce here the whole end unless something goes drastically wrong for Team Mouat, and they're not going to have a very good chance of stealing. That's not a very good risk-reward situation.
A little heavy. Whoa. Down normal. Clean. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. No, curl.
Emma looking to make this perfect hit and roll.
Hard line. Hard line.
And it's close.
Whoa. Nice, Emma.
And that's absolutely perfect.
Didn't quite get under cover. I think the chase is still available.
Still there, AJ.
11-3.
For these guys, they're the best hack weight team. I've said the best run back team, but the best hack weight team
Best
I've
draw
ever
team,
seen.
Best guard team.
Right.
They're the best team.
All around.
They're so good at these, though. They can see an inch and they make it easy. Throw the right weight and tremendous sweeping.
High 11s.
And
hammering it out of his hand.
an underrated skill in curling that nobody talks about is line calling. They don't screw any up.
That is such a good point, Brent.
All the way.
No problem. No problem.
11-9.
Yeah, and Jen, you're absolutely correct. When you make that insight on those hack waiters, they just don't miss.
No, and they just don't miss the line call. They'll be saying hard early. You think, oh, it's going to be close to the guard. And no, at the hog line, they changed to carve it in there. They missed the guard by a 1/4 inch, and it's perfect.
Yeah, they hammered it out of Lammy's hand, and it was absolutely perfect. His flurry looks to try and make this hit and roll, I guess, just an inch better.
Whoa. Just leave it there. Yeah, line. Okay.
And it's just going to sit right there. Team Homan sitting 2 right now.
Good audible from Rachel. She didn't want to roll it to set up a double for Bruce to lie 2.
Right. So we'll have to use it next time on probably Grant.
See the coaches for Team Mouat, John Cullen and former Raptor Matt Bonner,
A little more release than I wanted.
strategizing in the background.
Probably normal.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just a bit heavy.
Yeah.
Roll to edge of 4.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or hit the back one.
Normal.
Fair.
I'm fine with this. Just don't want you play normal. You can't go behind the tee. Like in behind the guard, so I don't mind normal.
Control.
Get it in.
Sure.
Don't want to get in.
9-5.
Choosing the right weight here, too.
It's a good shot.
Making sure they're not throwing it soft enough, so if they roll behind the guard, it's back button. Trying to roll all the way across behind the yellow. Stay shot and
9.
High 8s.
Whoa.
9.
Whoa.
Curl. Clean. Curl. Hard.
Hardy with a hit.
Go.
Trying to roll it under that center line guard. Half buried, but probably enough there. Homan can
You guys want to
do exactly that.
there, or do you want to sit right on it? I think we have to top.
Just trying to tap it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just get to the
Like back
inside, tap
4?
it
Okay.
there.
That looks like it. Mine really
Just
came
top
back.
dead buried. If we freeze, they're gonna rip it. It
Like back
plants.
4 weight?
Just T-line.
T-line? Okay.
Touch center, guys.
just trying to draw the top 4 foot. As Rachel said, you can't freeze on it because if they make contact with it, that yellow goes straight back into the red and they'll lie 2. Ideally, I think you'd really love it if you could get to the nose and tap it to the back of the button.
I think that's what they call back 4.
Whoa.
Close for line.
Stop.
Close that
Come in. Curl. Clean. Curl.
Rachel has some very Rachel-esque line calls that nobody else uses, like stop. I like it. It's very clear.
There's no mistaking that.
Great shot there.
Absolutely perfect, exactly called and made. And
The brooms?
now Mouat is going to survey things here, Jen.
Yeah, and you think that stone is dead buried, but
this looks, it's overburied. This looks impossible.
oh, they called the.
Oh,
Wait
the
a second.
broom.
Wait a second. You hear the roar go up from the crowd, and if you're watching at home, we are getting the no sweep, the sweep stopper.
Well, they have to use a brownie broom from the 80s, I think.
It's a brownie broom, and they're being brought in. They've hit the button. Take a look at that thing. They've activated the
As soon as they did, Grant wanted to change the call to the run back.
That's not allowed,
No,
though.
you can't. You got to go with the original shot, and here come the Brownie Brooms. Take a look at this throwback here. The crowd loves it. I don't know if Team Mouat loves it, and we'll see how much this makes a difference on this delicate tap. Not a lot of room for that. I love this.
They might burn it. Those.
If he makes this, we can go home.
Look at that. Look at these brooms, and they're leaning on them right now.
Curl, yeah.
That is ridiculous. Oh, we are not worthy. It's not fair.
That hurts. That hurts Team Pink.
Wow.
What a shot.
Maybe sweeping doesn't do anything.
Yeah, why do you waste all that energy?
I mean, it really did give you a sense of how much downward pressure they were putting on those brooms. You don't get a sense of it with the new brooms, but right there you saw. I mean, they're loving it. Look at them. Let's listen in.
It's bendy? Oh no.
He almost broke it.
I was worried it was going to snap and they were going to hurt themselves. They're so old. Yeah.
They are old, so they were just. Bobby was afraid to put too much weight on it and it would snap.
They're not that old. I use those things.
You're pretty old.
Ouch.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hammy and Lammy are standing there, and they still have the Brownie Brooms in their hands, so maybe they're going to stick with them because they got the desired result. Okay, Rachel Homan with her first here in the third end of this Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes. A Mouat skin in the first, a carryover in the second, and here we are, Skip Stones in the third end. Just doesn't stop in time. Team Mouat still shot rock as we take a look at the replay here, Jen.
Yeah, they just wanted this stone to stop right there, and it rolls a little bit too far. It's not shot rock, and you think, oh, maybe Team Mouat will hit second shot stone, but I think they're going to play the freeze.
I think just a hit and roll. Hit and roll. Nose is all right, is it?
Gives her the run.
Nose is not very good. She
gonna play the run.
freezes one in there,
Right,
doesn't she?
just weld one right in there,
Rachel,
and
she'll play the
it's
run.
hard
You know
to
that.
win the skin.
True.
If we freeze, it's pretty good.
By rolling behind the tee line, she's
Hard
created a
freeze.
problem here.
Okay, hit and roll.
Beat him there?
Sure.
Yep.
He's going to hit and roll, even if it rolls right into the shot rock there. He knows he's going to be on top of the button, but if
2
Rachel
inches more.
freezes right on it, there's going to be very little room to draw.
I think that's close.
Okay. Wouldn't mind an inch more, but that's close.
I actually don't even mind
Good back.
rolling the other way, Brent, and if Rachel makes a perfect hit and roll, you'd have the corner in.
Bruce, being Bruce, said if I just draw right here, dead buried top button, they're dead, and that's what I thought he'd go with.
Sounded like he was leaning that way, but he's just going to play a
11-5.
tap, sit right there.
Hard, you gotta go.
Maybe an inside flop. They're leaning on it here. Mouat with his first here in the third end with hammer. Just gets by the guard. Roll inside, put it right on the lid.
And it's your turn, Rachel.
Now what?
She might have to play a run double. I don't even-
Outturn, outturn back four and just bump and stay there, and they got a problem.
It's not going to go in normal, I don't think.
Just need to get second
Can't
stone.
see a ton of it. Sorry? Can't see much. Like none? Very small piece. If you do that, is it a hard shot for two?
I want you to throw peel at that.
Just try this. Okay. Might make it a little tricky for them, no?
Coach, outturn, freeze bump, get second shot.
Same shot? Was it hard to move?
Yeah.
I think Rachel really wanted to play this in-turn, rip it, try and get them both going. She was hoping Emma would see more from the hack. What if you peek over a little more?
If you lean, it doesn't work.
Right.
I do like the outturn tap, Brent. I agree with you, but I'd probably be tapping shot stone.
That's the one I'm talking about, yeah.
It looks like they're tapping the stone on the side of the forefoot. I don't know. You're just probably going to roll into it. I think Bruce will always have a shot for 2.
I would agree with that.
Is this the toughest one to leave him, though?
I think if they tap the stone at the top of the button, it's a lot harder of a shot. Just to the back of the forefoot, it would be a very difficult 2.
And I think we're seeing the ice conditions here tonight. A lot of curl.
We're going to be in for a great week here.
For sure. Okay, Rachel Homan with her last year in the third end without hammer. Scotland has the skin right now, but Homan's trying to at least carry this thing over. All right there, and probably wanted to roll half a rock more.
Yeah, she needed to roll quite a bit more. This is and Team Mouat threw this so many times. The hack weight nose hit.
12, 5. Like that.
So just follow Homan down and put more money in the bank if you're Team Mouat.
I think it is max, but I don't
Already
mind it.
leading.
I think you might get surprisingly a hair more curl in her.
After picking up the first skin of this game. Carry over in the second, and now looking to put 2,000 more on the board. Nose hit will do it.
12-5. 12. Low 12s.
Curl.
Low 12s.
Curl.
Clean. Weight's good. Clean. Weight's
Curl.
good.
They like it. And not even the sweep stopper was going to stop these guys from picking up 2,000 more dollars. 2 skins, and they've won the first 3 of the game. All right. So, Scotland, world champions and leading in the Battle of the Sexes here in Toronto.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Homan, Mouat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Welcome back to the Mattamy Athletic Center. So far, so good for Team Mouat, and you gotta wonder if it has anything to do with that coaching staff. Well, Robbie Doherty is down there to find out. Robbie, over to you.
That's right, Devin. I'm down here with the celebrity coaches on the Team Mouat bench. I've got co-host of the Broom Brothers podcast, as well as the host of the Broomgate podcast, Mr. John Cullen. And also two-time NBA champion and former Toronto Raptor, the Red Rocket, Matt Bonner, on the bench for Team Mouat. Now, I need to ask you guys something here. Tight game. Things are shaping up here in your favor, but I got to ask the curling expert, what's going to have to happen? What kind of plays is Team Mouat going to have to come up with to keep this momentum going?
Well, they told me I was going to be coaching, so I brought my board with me. Unfortunately, it does me no good because this is basketball and has no application here. So what I did was we had this really intense pre-match meeting, and I'm like, hey, remember yesterday when you won the World Championships? Just do that.
Solid advice. Listen, two-time NBA champion, could be a first-time Battle of the Sexes champion here at Mattamy Center. Devin.
All right, Matt Bonner, sage advice. Just do what you did when you won the World Championship about 24 hours ago in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And so far, so good for Scotland, for Team Mouat. They take the first 3 skins of this Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the World Champion winners on the women's side and the men's side. And we're settling in for the 4th end here. And now we have a special guest, and you know it's a big event when George Strombolopoulos shows up at the house.
Devo and Triple J, hi.
Hi.
George, you're curling roots run deep.
High school curling team. I was a skip on my team. We never won any tournaments, but I finished second. So yeah, I love the sport so much. I've been on your show in the past before. We've tweeted many times at each other about this. And Jennifer, of course, you were on our old talk show as well. So I love the sport. I love this event. I think this is a real blast. Poor Cullen had nothing to do there. He just sat there while the Red Rocket ran over him. I love it.
I love it too.
and you know, obviously, Robbie Doherty's so good at what he does. He set it up, the curling expert, thinking we were going to John Cullen.
No thanks.
Going to Matt Bond.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. George, what do you like so far? I mean, could you have ever imagined? I mean, organizers dream, no doubt, when you set this thing up. They both become world champions, and I know you were following both of their journeys throughout the season, and now you're here to see them firsthand.
It's perfect timing for the event for sure. It adds to the excitement. I also like that the ice is a bit curly today, so they all have to adjust. And I think for me, I want my pebbles to be a bit off because it's kind of like life. You think you have a plan and then you've got to adjust. That's what it's like out here today. It's been really exciting to watch so far.
Yeah, lots of rocks in play for sure, and it's curling tons. You can make every shot out there. It's really awesome.
Hair high.
So here we are in the fourth end of a sold-out Battle of the Sexes, downtown Toronto, in this historic venue. George, you have some history here as well.
I've played hockey in my rec league team in this rink. I've seen Hulk Hogan in this rink and Metallica in this rink and Rage Against the Machine. So yeah, this is a standard place for a Torontonian. And I took the subway here today to come to this event to see you two. Coming out of the Carlton stop, walking up right onto the street, it just was a rush. And to know that it's a sold-out, beautiful Monday night here, if you're watching it live, it's pretty exciting. And to set up the week too, that's going to happen here. So this is a really nice way of getting it going. But this building is hallowed, and we're high up, so we're near the rafters, which is of course part of the iconic photography of Maple Leaf Gardens when it was that.
Outstanding. Sarah Wilkes now trying to set something up for Team Homan. Jim, they want to turn the tide right now.
Yeah, for sure they do. They just want to get that first skin. But they played very well, had lots of great opportunities, and you just can't leave Bruce Mouat those hack weight shots for two, and they got their skin, but still lots of game left. Most of the money is later in the game, so lots of chances.
So much curl, George. You know this sport, and it is whipping out there tonight in all parts of the sheet.
It makes it fun. It just adds another. I mean, it must suck for you, Jennifer, when you're out there and just ice is doing this.
I loved it. The more curl, the better for me. The more rocks in play, the more curl. I used to get frustrated on straight ice, and that was actually my Achilles heel. I had to make sure that I embraced the ice, and I loved it. But it's so much more fun to play on. It's called curling for a reason.
That's right. That's right. And where the money's going, the good causes, the important causes, it's life-changing work. So it's really, it adds just another layer of meaning to this. Oh, what a shot.
Yeah.
This is going to come out the other side. I think there's so much curl.
So heavy out there. Yeah, that's in play for sure.
Quick note, sorry, Jen, on the charities, and George, thanks for mentioning those again. I understand you can go to Grand Slam Curling website, donate to those charities, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation and the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser. So both of those listed on the website, and you can donate to, as you said, George, very worthy causes.
Sandra was the first curler I ever interviewed when I was 23 years old, covering the Scott Tournament of Hearts when she won. This is way back in the 90s, Steve-O. Way back in the 90s.
Oh, great shot there from Emma Miskew. Didn't quite kill the yellow, but it doesn't matter. They just got two reds behind the guard.
$1,000 an end. $1,000 an end, and so Team Mouat is cashed in on the first 3,000. Like you said, Homan just wants to get on the board, get that first skin out of the way.
Very nice. Yeah, that should be this time, I think.
Line's good.
Key this time. Okay. Fracture more.
Looks like it's running.
At least key. Back four.
In front of a sold-out crowd.
It's going hard now. That much. We're top going hard.
George, you were here early in the night. People are waiting outside, stretching down the street. They wanted to be here.
Yeah, an event like this brings a community together. Obviously Canada as well. This is an international situation, but Canadians feel a real connection to this sport. You know how we cheered for you, Jennifer, and in these times, I think the red and white has just a little extra weight to it these days, which makes nights like this even more powerful. And when Rachel comes out, the reaction to that team, pretty powerful.
It's so powerful, and you're right. I think there's a lot of patriotism and pride, and it's fun to see Canada come together and cheer for their athletes. But you know, it's also surprising to, not surprising, but Team Mouat has definitely gained some Canadian, like just the way they are Canadian fans. I mean, obviously the building's cheering for Rachel, but tons of respect for Bruce and his team. So that didn't quite work out as well. They really wanted to remove that Yellowstone from play and keep their shooter in the rings. But we're talking about Sandra, and she was, her and her team, they won the Canadian Scotties the same time we won the Canadian Juniors.
Wow.
And way back in the 90s.
Way back in the
unfortunately. Darn. But we went over to Europe with them, and they took us under their wing and played practical jokes on us, like putting saran wrap on our toilet, you know, normal things. And so she was just, they were a special team. She was a special lady, and it's great to see the Sandra Schmirler Foundation represented here from Team Homan.
Yeah, what a legacy.
Perfect. They wanted that biting the forefoot, and it's biting the forefoot.
3 Scottish stones, and Homan's got a lot of work to do here in the fourth end with Hammer, trying to get their first skin on the board. You know, the majority of this crowd is just sort of waiting and wanting to cheer for something right here, and perhaps it'll come right now.
And it's going to get loud. It's going to get loud when that first moment happens.
Tracy Fleury with her first here in the fourth.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hot. Whoa, curl. Whoa, whoa. Coming down. 11. F. Hard. Hard.
Trying to play this really thin to
hit and roll on top, Jen.
Go, Em, go, go, go. Nice shot, Tracy.
You can see it right there. They're ready to cheer, aren't they?
That one. Try and get edge on edge.
Think so.
If he knows it's a good stop.
Control.
Think that's there, Jen?
Yeah, no, for sure it is. That was a nice roll from Tracy. It allowed Team Mouat this hit and roll, but they can't roll all the way behind the guard, or they'll jam on the yellow stones. Needs to stick around. Of course he does. They said nose was fine, and the reason being is that the triple's tough, and you can always come around.
Do we ever just make the side
Do we ever make the double? We could.
I just said, make
On
the
the back
roll.
ones.
You don't like this double and roll?
It just looks harder. Like I was just thinking, make that double if we roll in a bit. There's only one yellow.
7/8 low. I think she has air. Or no?
We never make this double and roll?
Sure.
I don't know.
I like
You like the double and
Yeah.
roll?
Like even knows. Like this one's
Where do you want to roll to? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Which one are you taking, Jen? Which double there?
Not this double. I would play a Rachel's call, the original double. The yellow at the top of the house is going to become a problem stone for Team Homan.
They've settled on the back double.
Close. Curl.
Looking to generate 2 with a hammer to pick up their first skin of the game and send this crowd into a bit of a frenzy.
There you go.
Perfect.
Wow.
The crowd likes it. The problem is it's behind the button.
Let's go, girls.
Those Homan Empire signs are so good.
How good is that?
So good.
Like line-wise. Here? Yep.
So now Bruce Mouat is going to try to make a freeze. They did look because Rachel Homan will have a double on the Yellowstone that's currently there and the Yellowstone that Bruce Mouat's delivering. So they want to try to get this as buried as possible.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think that's too much.
Looks close.
I think it looks really good.
Okay.
14.
It looks real nice. Yeah, 14 is probably perfect.
I think we can really get moving this.
As Bruce Mouat settles into the hack. gets ready to deliver his first in the fourth end. 24 hours after winning a second world title, from Moose Jaw to Mattamy into the bright lights once again of the curling world.
T. Get the weight right. Oh, you have yep, line. Whoa, T line back 4. Carve.
Carving this one in, and it looks pretty perfect once again.
Shot.
Just doesn't miss very often. You know what I love about curling?
I think mine will float a little bit more. Okay.
All right, I spy. Is that Team Hasselborg?
It is. They're sitting with the Scottish fans. Made the trip.
You know, of course, all of these teams are making their way into Toronto ahead of the Players' Championship, and it's all they could talk about as we got closer to game time here. George wasn't missing it. Hasselborg wasn't missing it.
How could you miss this?
Right?
If you love the sport, an event like this to kick off the week.
I think straight through is good enough.
She playing this double, Jen?
She is. Very predictable. Bruce now knew she was going to play it. Tried to make it as hard as he could.
So much heat on that.
Could you throw it that hard in your junior days?
Oh, I could, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My problem is I couldn't throw it soft. Was my problem.
A Homan special. Gets it all moving and sitting 3. And this crowd loves it.
Parking lot wait. Just get it right outside the building.
All right, let's take a look at this again. Absolutely perfect. Maybe a little high side, Jen, but got it all moving.
It was perfect. She wanted to clear everything. She didn't want to leave the red stone at the back of the button.
Try and bite the 8-foot.
But now they're just trying to bite the 8-foot. They don't want this deep in the house.
Just bite the 8-foot.
Bite the 8, yeah.
With that much curl, obviously, got to be shot, but the deeper you come, the easier it's going to be for Homan to pick up that skin as Mouat settles in to deliver his last in the fourth end.
Surprised they're changing turns here. Bruce just threw the intern on his first.
Close.
Top 8.
Make sure.
Rim.
Line
Curl.
straight.
Get
Line
weight
straight.
right.
Curl.
It's good.
It's real
Looks
nice.
like this
Curl when
needs
you
to
can.
curl.
Carve almost.
14-8.
Way out there.
Clean.
We're biting 4.
Whoa.
Feel 4.
Biting 4.
Look at it work its way to the center line.
Shot, Bruce.
Top 4. I think you can see that, though, can't you?
Rachel can chase this. This is an opportunity.
Still there.
George, I think you turned this thing around.
Listen, I'm here to represent Canada and all curlers, but this is an important shot right here, and there's a lot of rocks. There's a lot of red rocks in the house.
Just make that yellow go away, follow it down, move it far enough, cash in for the first time in the game, and get this thing heading the right way to the fourth end break if you're Team Homan.
And we're getting to that point too where the skin's total doubles. It goes up in value, right? So these are the really important shots now.
This is just kind of getting used to the ice.
How many ends did it take you to settle into it?
Depended on the day.
I think we're going to carve it, take all the weight off. I agree.
You wanted to say 1 end, but sometimes it was about 8.
Eight,
But as
that's
long
right.
as you were good for 9 and 10, that's all that mattered. So Rachel's just, it doesn't look very good from the hack.
You want to just slosh it? Pardon? Slosh that? The run? Yeah, you could. Whichever looks best to you. It looks pretty bad. We could try it. It's really high. But
Whichever looks best to you, but it looks pretty bad.
Yep.
this Emma, like every time we carved it, we took weight off. Yeah. 3/4? Okay.
So, Sissy audible. It
So
got
I
down
will do the same
to the
thing.
other end of the ice, and it didn't look like she could chase it. So now
Yeah, you got it.
it's a long run back to avoid giving up another skin. But Rachel Homan has made so many of these over these last couple of years in this incredible run of curling, and she's looking for more of it right now. And right through.
Yeah, if that had curled a bit more, a little bit less.
And it's a steal. And it's a Scottish sweep of the skins in the first half of this game. George, thanks for joining us, man.
Are you kidding? What a pleasure. Brent's coming back, but it was so nice to spend this time with both of you.
You're the best.
No, it's lovely to be with you.
Awesome. All right, we'll take a break here at the Mattamy Athletics Center in Toronto. 4 skins to the Scottish side. We'll take a break and settle in for the second half right after this.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock. The 20...
All right, 4th and break here. And you know, throughout the years, I paid very close attention to the 4th and break, 5th and break, and the snacks. Take a look at this, Rio Mare, the sponsor of this event, and these teams have a delicious and nutritious Rio Mare prime quality tuna, fresh vegetables and grains, protein, fiber, and they are chowing down right now. Guess what? We got the same snack up here in the booth, you two.
I know, everybody needs a snack. It's hard to broadcast.
Okay, let's crack it open.
It's full of protein. Looking good.
All right, here we go. We're on. Cheers.
I can't get it open. I can't get it open. Oh, there we go.
Okay, here. Cheers. Everybody needs a snack.
I'm starving, so
Yeah,
this is perfect.
I know you are, so this is perfect.
Love it.
All right. Okay, well, we're going to fuel up, and we're going to settle in for the second half of this Battle of the Sexes game. They're loving it in Toronto.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste meets little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
As fans mingle about here at the Mattamy, Scotland, Team Mouat picking up the first 4 skins. Devin Heroux alongside Jennifer Jones and Brent Laing as you look at some of the other teams who will be featured in the Players' Championship. It all starts tomorrow. the final slam of the year. The Canadian flags are out and they're waiting for Team Homan to cash in on that first skin. $1,000 each end the rest of the way. Want to clarify that, $1,000 up for grabs. And I think everybody here, Jen and Brent, would love to see a Canadian sweep in the last half.
They sure would. And you know what's really fun is you see so many teams have come out to watch this game, both on the men's and the women's side. It's not just the fans that want to see it, but it's the teams that are out here. And I know the teams are itching for, or the fans are itching for Team Homan to make that first skin. That's always the hardest one, Brent, like you were saying earlier, to get that first skin.
Look at the coaching clinic being put on here by, by Matt Bonner. Drawn, he's got the basketball board out.
Yeah.
And he's got McMillan blocking and working the boards.
Trying to work on his jump shot. Wrong sport.
Team Marana is looking over their Rio Mare snacks, trying to...
By the way, those were delicious.
They were, absolutely. We're fueled up. We're ready to go. And wherever you're tuning in from, we hope you're enjoying this Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the World Champions, as Hammy McMillan continues to take some pointers from Matt Bonner.
No, I don't trust you anymore.
Are they nicer ones?
Well, now they're sharing snacks.
Is this the bag that's supposed to be for
It's all happening here, but like I was saying, I hope you're enjoying this wherever you're tuning in from. Brent, what are you seeing so far? It is a battle of the sexes, and I know there was a lot of intrigue around that, around the best in the women's game and the best in the men's game.
I mean, we've seen a lot of what we expected in terms of lots of rocks in play, lots of opportunities for big shots, some big shots, a couple of misses. I mean, Rachel's had nothing but not impossible shots, but super hard, and I thought she might have pulled that last one off, but with the skins format, it's never over until it's over. You know, it's $4,000, but there are still $6,000 up for grabs. If you're Team Homan now, you almost switch to carryovers, okay, but it would be great to get on the board. So they've got the first half of a great comeback set up, Devin.
Drama, as you like to say.
Drama, you know I love it. Let me just say, it is awesome to be alongside you two.
Oh, us too.
Yeah.
So
this is fun. And you know, so much of the curling world has been treated to such great curling, and you two have entertained us for so many years. I know, JJ, you said you wanted to be a part of the game still. You are all over it.
Yeah, I'm just, it's still flowing through my veins. I can't get away, and I'm loving every second of it. It's made kind of stepping away from being on the ice a lot easier, and I'm really enjoying this side.
And you too, Brent. I know you with Team McEwen. That team looks fantastic.
Has nothing to do with me actually, but it is fun to still be involved in the game, and the commentary this year with Home Team Live and with the curling group has been phenomenal from start to finish. Watching the best curling in the world, you know, week in and week out, and it's something, you know, the game's never going to leave our family, that's for sure.
Thank goodness for that. Okay, we are just about set for the second half of this Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes. World champion win one night and looking to win the Battle of the Sexes the next night. It's, hey, full credit to these guys because it was an emotional weekend. I was there in Moose Jaw, and we were all on early flights out of Saskatchewan this morning, and I was with them at the airport. And
you were on the 5 a.m. too?
Oh, yeah.
You're looking good, Devin.
Well, I'm trying to hold it together here, but I wouldn't miss this for the world, and I know so many others feel the same way as Hammy McMillan gets us started.
I was going to say, speaking of curling staying within our family, I believe Isabel is going to be commentating with you, Brent.
That's the rumor, stealing my job.
Yep, on a couple of the streaming games. The insight of our daughter into curling.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure she's been taking notes and listening to the supper time conversations for quite some time.
She listens. We'll see if she hears.
So same strategy, center guard, corner guards. It's very similar to traditional curling. When you're losing, you want to get those guards in play and try to set up some offense. We've seen those corner guards being utilized later in the end, like with angle slashes and trying to generate extra points that way. That's just a little bit long from Sarah, so it's not really usable as a corner guard. We'll see if Rachel tries to throw two.
All right. So we're going to start here. We're going to go this way. So face down now up, and on 3.
I think Hammy's here to stay as well. They're winning too much.
It's hard to change anything at this point. Hammy's a character in the game. His dad. I played against Hammy Senior over the years ago now, but one of the characters and great guys on and off the ice, fiery competitor and super social off the ice. The Scottish guys are known for that.
Well, even after they won the World Championship, you saw on social media they shared a drink with Team Switzerland, Yannick Schmirler and his team, celebrating together both their accomplishments.
I think that's credit to Team Schmirler. If I won the Worlds, I'd have a beer with anybody. Losing the Worlds and having a beer with the guys who just took it from you, that shows some class. But
Quality.
it is what our sports is all about.
Yeah. The curling ecosystem, the curling community, undefeated, truly. You saw it earlier this year, too, when Team Hasselborg rolled into the post-game Homan party wearing Homan Empire hoodies.
Yeah, you got to go. More. Keep going. Yep.
And I think that was Team Tiranzoni that did it as well.
Yes,
there was a lot of that going on.
In or out?
He's not asking if you want it in or outside the rings. He's asking which turn. Out turn.
Thank you, much I
think it's quicker here.
Still think we're
hard line. Yep.
Okay.
That's a dog, isn't it?
Curl.
Yeah.
They don't love this one. This isn't Bob's best. Light and tight.
Okay.
That's a horrible rock. That was.
Yeah. It's okay, Bob.
Lined up nicely to 50. The button now. Keep an eye on that for later. Rachel doesn't love the triple centers.
So. I thought giving you the one because it wouldn't be moved.
Of course you did, aye.
Looks like she's going to go with the come around here and try and keep the pressure on Bruce. If you don't deal with the center guards now, you're probably not going to get to.
That's a relative.
Kind of feels like if Team Homan could ever get that first one out of the way.
It's a big weight lifted off your shoulders for sure.
I knew she coming, yeah, I told guys coming, but I also didn't know, have a chance to figure out where they're going to catch up with me.
Hard, keep going. Keep going. Gotta go. It's pretty good.
Good spot there, but that you can get around that one buried and be shot behind a big wall and put some nice early pressure here from the Team Homan front end.
I thought it should be.
I think that's that bad.
It's real close.
You have to touch the forefoot.
Back in.
Back in.
Okay, well then.
Back 12.
Whoa. Line's okay.
Matt, at your feet. At your feet.
Curling hard now.
At your feet's not a good spot. Bruce is standing out of the house, so at your feet's bad.
Curl.
Yes, this one not where Team Mouat wanted it. So Team Homan still shot under staggered guards, 3 of them, looking to pour it on with hammer, trying to pick up the first skin here in the 5th end of this 8-end Battle of the Sexes.
It's a little more dire than I thought. Apparently it is just $1,000 per end from here on out, so.
Got to win them all.
If we're golfing, we're dormy. The blue shirts versus the pink shirts, Jen. Just a little score update.
You loved the pressure, though, Jen.
I sure did. I did love it.
Hard line, 5. Hard line.
Is that the next surprise? Pull somebody out of the booth? I like,
right.
I like Homan's pull a lot better than Mouat's.
Hard, keep going.
Got to keep this thing going, drag it as far as you can. They're all on it now, and Rachel is going to bring this thing right up against it. Frozen, nearly. Still shot rock.
Got Emma there, 16.
Just a little bit too high in the house. It allows this come around.
We're going to see if we can get all 16 rocks in play here this end.
Didn't mind it. Got a fraction light.
Light too.
Room.
Halfway there.
Line's good. Line's good, yep.
Line's great.
Race good.
Rim,
Wide only.
These guys are going to get to work on it now.
Wide only.
Back four.
Carve.
Just so good at judging these things. Watch it swoop in as soon as that weight starts coming off side of the button. Stop it right there.
It's exposed, though. I think Team Homan can pick that out. But if they do, I would expect Grant will make it better.
You could probably throw hack.
Take a look at this thing. Just dive towards the button. Cleared everything by
Can I have a little more?
a lot.
I need a little more reach. With hack?
So Rachel's saying
Back line. Okay.
if you crash the guard, it's okay. I don't think that's the case at this point in the game. Playing hack weight, so she must think she can hit and stay close to there.
I don't think she can see much behind the guards. It's exposed behind the red stones.
I got to go on this one. Tracy Fleury's first in the 5th end. Homan with hammer, and they're all over the guard.
Uh-oh. Big trouble now. And
Guards for our lives.
Team Mouat, after those yellows line up, they're just throwing a guard on the shot they just tried, and then we're going to have to see some cleanup in the middle here from Team Homan to have any chance this end.
Weight's good. Just keep it out there.
Yeah. Halfway.
You're probably killing the line, Bob.
Halfway. Halfway long.
Long's better.
Trying to lock this thing down.
Between the two yellows.
Yep.
Okay.
Line's good.
Just past
Doesn't need
that
to go.
first. Yeah. Stone past it.
Close to the brush. Doesn't need to go. Just short.
That's good.
With a perfect guard,
Shot, Grant.
and Grant Hardy delivers.
Nice.
Rachel's going to try to run this into those two yellows and see if she can get any action in the house.
You want to wear these or I like them.
We said that before the game.
Yeah.
Don't think she has much choice, even if it goes dead wrong.
Okay. Should drag. If you go by, do we get theirs or no? Okay. Okay, this should go pretty straight. Okay. 7-8. Okay.
Cleanup crew now. Tracy Fleury with her last. She's got to move, trying at least to move a lot of granite to give Team Homan something here. Needing to win this thing the rest of the way. Just didn't get that back yellow, did they?
No, the angle was not quite right, but it's hard to see from this angle, but I believe now yellow is lying 2.
Yeah, still like one.
Yeah, you guard it anyway.
There it is.
You're absolutely right.
That's important because there is a very thin in-off or a slash double with
Take off
that
both as well, probably. You want a
yellow and
timeout?
it stayed top
You
12.
want a
But
timeout?
Sure.
Timeout.
Oh, they're calling a timeout.
Oh.
Wait a second here. Did you see how quickly Cullen and Matt Bonner got out of their seat?
it was a set play from the bench. We saw Bonner.
He's got his basketball.
Yeah, here comes Bonner. Look at this.
Got that.
She does.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
Just. Very just.
She's never played this, is she?
Well, if you're here, it takes it off.
Probably isn't.
What do you think,
What
coach?
are you, coaches?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. You're good.
Remember, this is what we're going for.
Okay.
I know I said to wait till the 8th, but we can just do it every time.
Sure.
Okay.
So you want to try and get rid of the reds?
Get another one in.
Come in here.
What are you thinking?
You want to go here?
Yep, guard.
Guard or another one in.
It's pretty tough.
We're line 2.
We're line 2.
We have 2. If we guard, she has this run.
It's tough, but it's there. We go here.
We're either guarding or we're getting greedy and coming.
Yeah.
I'd be so nervous.
If we ever go here and she just goes, yeah. Exactly.
Guard.
Guard then.
You like,
Make them earn it.
you like the guard?
Yeah.
Hard work on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hard work.
I mean, the crowd's absolutely loving it. Have we ever seen a huddle like that in the house with the coaches?
We're not allowed. It actually goes against the rules. But I think it's great. I think we should change the rules. Why wouldn't you want that? So no, I've never seen that.
You know what I love about it too, though, is you saw Bonner. I mean, he wanted to just step on the ice, and I think that just goes to show you sort of his fascination and intrigue with the sport. He couldn't wait to get out there. Outstanding. So I think they landed on the guard.
They did.
Cullen trumped Bonner, I think. Bonner came out and said, I know you wanted to save this till 8, but I think we should just do it every end. And I think that's great advice.
Halfway along.
Halfway.
All right. We're seeing it all here at Mattamy on a Monday night. Sold out. Team Mouat winning the first 4 skins. Of course, they carried over the second end. And Mouat cashing in the third. Putting up that guard. And getting it to stop in time right where they wanted it, maybe a little like you heard.
Think you can get there?
But again, a complicated end.
I think those are the
Did
two
you say
shots,
this?
whichever one looks easiest to you.
Sorry, what did you say? The other one?
The control weight that we talked about?
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
said the other
7/8
one.
high.
Can you
What?
tap this
7/8 high.
Can't hear you.
7/8 high.
Yeah, I just don't know what it's gonna do here.
Yeah, but we don't have anything on this side.
Okay, so you guys think like
To me, the interns are all
down
coming
normal?
up. I was seeing just peel.
I don't want to paper the guard and plant it, right?
No,
you don't have to paper the guard.
You got it right.
Down normal?
I think you need.
Do you like down normal?
Sorry?
Do you like down normal?
Yeah.
I think that'll be manageable.
You can see, like, you're just missing a tiny piece.
Going with the shot that Hammy mentioned in their timeout, that she does have this. It's tough. I can't say it in a Scottish accent, so I'll say it in Canadian. But the yellow into the red, and if it basically plants, which just means sticks right on the nose of the second one and doesn't roll anywhere, she's going to actually make the double in the back two, and red's going to lie two.
The good news for Scotland, though, is they will have a come around 2 guards.
I'll keep it there. She'll come back.
You heard Rachel right before this say, I don't really know what it's going to do there. We'll see if she can zero in on this one. Just another challenging shot in a long list of them in this game so far. Trying to get this line. Just lost it at the end. And now Scotland sitting 3 without hammer.
Got the end off.
And it's danger zone once again for Homan.
I think that's an easy shot. The guard here.
Okay. I think so.
And then give her that.
That's a very hard draw.
Tough draw.
Yeah.
So guarding the in off the yellow one that you can see on our screen there in the top 8 foot. From this side, it's on the left-hand side. If Rachel hits that on the center line side and rolls right into that one on the button, that's the easiest shot for one. They think there is a draw wide side for one, but that's going to be that looks pretty hard.
I think that's our easy shot.
Sure.
She could play the same shot she just played.
Bruce might guard that if he does play this guard, trying to guard that in off.
You might be able to guard both, hey?
There's a wee bit more through
Split
that
the
way.
difference.
Halfway.
Mouat with his
Line's
last in the 5th
Halfway
end.
tight.
in complete control of this battle of the world champions.
Clean. Curl, 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 curl. Gotta go, Hammy. Yep.
Cover some of the red.
And did it go too far?
It did. It's close.
It's definitely there somehow. It's going to look bad. Whether it's an out turn or an in turn, I'm not sure. If it's an in turn, it's just throw it a lot harder.
You can play it with the out turn. With like
Kinda your leg
board.
trace.
Board. With the out. Is that what you're seeing?
I think so. I don't mind control. That looks pretty bad. This hole barely looks there.
I think there's also a hack weight off the side
You can
one.
go yellow, red if you think that's easier.
Holy. 18 rotations.
That hit and roll you're talking
Can
about
like
looks way
chisel
easier.
off this
Yeah, you
yellow
could.
on my
She
way
just
by.
saw it. She
You can
found
also
it.
like just off
You
nose
just
this.
texted them. I'm watching you.
Off
No,
the
I
left
didn't.
corner. Oh, through the hole off that yellow? Yeah.
It's telepathy, curling
Should we bring
telepathy.
out our Swedish coaches?
I saw the
Not a lot of shots going on right now. Yeah.
Let's
Hammy
bring out the
wants to
Swedish
throw
girls.
it.
Doesn't look
Bring
good.
out the Swedish girls.
Like this is actually there. I don't know if the through the hole one's actually there. I don't think it's there. Yeah.
Stop the clock.
Fit through there. This?
Which one, sorry?
Like just
Red
high.
onto the
I think they
I don't
want to
even know
play
if
that
it's
same shot, but they got to get
Well,
it through
there,
the
it's
port,
I
and
just
then
might
you
think
got to
it's
find the
in
right
one
angle,
spot.
and there's not a lot of margins there at all.
They didn't even really seriously. Rachel mentioned your shot, Jen. It looks to me like the easiest one.
What are you playing?
Team Rana looking on.
Through the hole, off the yellow to the pin.
Their team coaches.
They got to be worried about their job. Rachel never loses, and they're in danger here.
A lot of interested people in this one, including Hammy McMillan, who was looking at that port as well to see if the angle was there. And now Homan's back in the hack. Let's listen.
7/8. Like just high. Like nothing is my best guess. Come up a bit at the end, maybe. I think the interns would all just come up a little bit. Sounds good.
All right, Rachel Homan facing a massive granite once again. Her final stone here in the fifth.
Hard.
Trying to carry this thing over. And did she do it? She did it. And the crowd loves it. They're on their feet here at the Mattamy Center in Toronto. And might that change this thing around? They've been waiting for a moment like that.
Unbelievable. What a shot. She changed her mind from the hack, just put the broom down and made a 25-foot run back.
Just like they drew it up. And so it'll carry over, and Team Homan is still alive in the battle of the world champions here at the Mattamy Athletic Center in downtown Toronto.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste meets little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
All right, inside the Mattamy Athletic Center, and the crowd still buzzing. Still buzzing. Okay, let's go down to Robbie. I think we have a Robbie interview. Where is he?
Thanks very much, Devin. Yes, I'm down here with the coaches of Team Homan, Team Rana. Listen, the team has some work to do, but far from out of it yet. What does the team need to get back in this game?
Well, I think it will be very good if the crowd were very supportive of Team Homan. Maybe we can do like a
Is there anything they should be cheering?
Yeah, we can. Let's go, Homan. Let's go.
Well, there you have it, gang. Looking for crowd support to get Team Homan back in this one in the last half. Devin.
Ravi, Team Rana doing their part. Coaches for Team Homan, the crowd into it. They loved that last shot from Homan to get the carryover. Listen, some breaking news. A little bit of drama here to sweeten the pot and sweeten up this finish. We're now learning that Mr. Mike's a partner here, sweetening the pot, adding 2,000 to the final two ends. So Jen and Brent, the 7th and the 8th ends, now worth $3,000, and this 6th end, because of the carryover, worth $2,000. So we are far from this thing being over now.
That's what I get for running my mouth saying we were dormy. No longer the case. We've got action here. Mr. Mike's. I've had more dinners at Mr. Mike's than my own house over the last 20 years. Not even close. A long time curling staple across Canada. So thank you, Mr. Mike's. And yeah, I don't know if there's an announcement on the loudspeaker out there, but I think Team Rano, Coach Rano, had the right idea here. Let's get the building back into this. Rachel just made maybe the shot of the year just to keep this thing going.
And needed it badly.
I'll leave it.
Whatever. Sure.
Good start from Sarah Wilkes, too, with 2 center guards. And I don't recall Hammy missing yet. Maybe I can put a jinx on him for you.
I don't think he has. He had a great World Championship as well. Just perfectly placed stones.
Line's good. Top 4. Clean.
It makes such a big difference. Don Ask and Don McCune did that for our team. She just put them exactly in the right spot and put a lot of pressure on the opponents.
And how much did you see that over the elimination games in Moose Jaw, where it just felt like every team was chasing end after end, and it grinds a team down?
It does. We just jinxed him there. He didn't make that one.
I told you I'd get him for you. I got him. I don't know what it's like to have a really good lead, so you'd have to tell me about it.
I'm sure Craig loves that.
I think he's listening. That's the only reason I said it. Ben's not listening, so that doesn't matter.
Emma Miskew trying to sink one here. You know, the thing I've come to see, and Jen, you would have better insight into this, but when Team Homan gets rolling and they get that swagger on the ice, they get this air of invincibility out there. And I'm sure there's a lot of people hoping that shot by Rachel to close out the 5th does that for them here.
You got it back?
Yeah, they're definitely a team, and most teams are. They go on confidence. When things are going well, you feel like you can make everything, and when they're not, it just feels like an uphill battle. But it hasn't been that Team Homan's played poorly. They just, Team Mouat's played exceptionally well in placing their stones in perfect spots, and one half shot in the end is gone.
I think I'm happy here if I'm Team Homan and they're leaving those guards. I thought they might double the 2 tight ones and roll in front of Shot Rock, but
You're off it. You're off it.
Just trying to take off some of that weight, and now it's going to slide to the back of the 8-foot.
13-4.
Advantage Team Homan.
No kidding. And if you could ever sink one here, you'd ramp up the pressure. Mouat has a hammer after the carryover.
I think so. Hey.
Might not want to make this one too good. If you make it really good, they're definitely going to peel the middle. Maybe you can just kind of throw one somewhere not in the 4-foot, and because you don't want those guards to go away. It's going to be tough sledding here for Homan after this one, because I think that double will be made.
Bringing it all the way back, maybe.
3's right on the back one. I like that.
And they're going to try and move some stones, Brent, just like you said.
This one.
Yeah, I think they're going to make that doubles better.
Yeah, that's good.
Might go into that side yellow depending on where they hit the top.
Still go. They're probably very close into the side of that yellow, which is probably good.
Yeah, go this.
Bobby Lammy now. Looking to rip these guards away.
Curl, 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 curl. Curl. Okay.
Nice.
Gets them all going, opens it up a bit. Now Jen. Tight guard.
Nice.
They don't really have much choice. There probably is going to be another double.
I don't mind tapping it to weld. Okay.
That's very precise, but a good
I think
result.
we have to tap it onto theirs. There's still like that much between them.
Okay. You guys like this?
Do you like that?
Sure. My first thought was going
It's
in.
a
'Cause the
7X
double
low.
keels, like tap it frozen. Yeah. Even like freeze, if you get the right angle, the freeze is really good.
Oh, wait, you got it, Trace.
Yeah. You can. It comes back big. Yeah. Yeah.
Tracy Fleury now with her first in the 6th end. Trying to ramp up a little bit more pressure
Well, wait for it. Gotta wait.
on Team Mouat.
Curl.
7.
Nice, good. Hard line.
It's got to move a ton.
5, 6.
But it really, like we've said all night, it really dives from that hog line in.
We're not. Yep, line. We're not
It will
too in,
curl
Trace.
enough, but it's just a little bit light.
Okay, good.
Team Homan sitting 2 under that center line guard.
Got out turn. No, it's buried, but.
Can I ever get nose?
Sorry?
Can I ever get to nose?
You can get close.
That's what I thought.
I don't know if you can get. I would love to get like 7/8 inside.
You maybe play it on the out.
Okay. Yep.
Back line.
Yep.
And another overburied chase back line. Jen's got her head in her hands. She knows what's coming next. This looks super hard. Oh, the broom button?
They just tricked them. They waited. They ran over to the broom button and they paused. Oh.
Wait a second.
Oh, she
Wait
hit
a
it.
second.
She hit it.
That's
Stop.
dirty pool. He was ready to go.
Sarah Wilkes stopping the sweep just in time, and now here come the coaches with the brownie brooms. The first time this was used in the first half of the game, they made the shot. And there was some concern
That's
whether
true,
they would
actually, yeah.
snap those brooms or not.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see from this angle, he's trying to hit the one that he can't see any of, that's overburied by a couple of inches, and he made it last time. We'll see if it was a fluke.
All right, just a reminder, in the first half of the game and the second half of the game,
Okay.
Team Homan had the option of
Yep.
doing the stop, the sweep, hitting the button and making
Yep.
Hammy and Lammy
Yep. Whoa.
use these old school brownie brooms. They're gonna lean on them here.
Curl.
Trying to get it to curl.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Jen, I don't think they could carve that one as much as they wanted to.
No, I think they were worried about hurting themselves, which I don't blame them.
Those brooms
Whose
are,
brooms are those?
Those are Sarah Wilkes' old brooms, and the one is signed by the 1998 Canadian Olympic team. Team Mike Harris, Rich Hart, Colin Mitchell, and George Carey.
Outstanding.
And then there was an autograph on the other one. Some guy, Brad Gushu or something.
I'm just worried they're all going to be gone if they roll there.
The double just looks hard.
Yeah.
So as a youngster, Sarah had strange taste in curlers.
You guys want to make the roll?
I think so.
Yeah. What weight do you like? Probably just to there, because if we go here, they'll probably come off
Do
it.
we ever draw if we're showing?
Control?
We never draw.
It's just
right?
like-
I thought about it, but I don't know.
I don't mind
Control.
it.
Yeah.
Control?
Yeah. Nose is okay. Okay.
Tracy Fleury now
Yep.
trying to hit and flop a little bit inside.
Curl.
Could really put some pressure on Team Mouat, maybe in a meaningful way for the first time in this game. Got to get it to curl, though.
We're going to see Bruce Mouat make this double, I think.
Yeah, Team Homan sitting 3, but 2 of those rocks behind the tee line.
Try and hit a third, even a quarter.
This is almost the old Hammy McMillan Sr. around the horn. You remember that one,
Spin
Devin?
up ever so slightly.
Okay.
Yep.
Normal.
That third one's a little bit too high.
Yeah, I wondered if it could get it going upstream and get them all. We'll find out right now. Grant Hardy with his last here in the 6th end.
Solid normal.
Team Homan has all, or pardon me, Team Mouat has all the money in this game, and Homan is trying to find any way possible to get some on their scoreboard.
Right to it.
Hard. Okay, not bad.
Okay.
All right.
That's a pretty big break, not break for Team Homan, but jamming on that back yellow makes a big difference. Just over curled a bit.
Okay, you got it.
Just follow it down with like hack weight here and try and flop under.
I think she wants to kill it. She's got ice that she's going to take it out and stay there. That will leave a double for Bruce for sure to stay buried top button. So if you were ever feeling a little frisky, the freeze here sure would be good, right on the button.
You just have to make sure you get low, or you'd still may potentially leave a double.
Yeah.
Up to speed? Yeah. Going home is just a little slower than going over.
Nothing wrong with the carryover here for, well, really for either team, but especially for Team Homan in my mind.
If they do that, they could take the lead in the 7th end. If you're just joining us, some breaking news. They've upped the ante. The 7th and the 8th end now worth $3,000 each. This, the 6th end, worth $2,000 after the carryover.
Kill it. Gotta kill it. Curl if you can. Just for weight. Just gotta go for weight.
They're trying to carve this thing over and move that yellow Mouat stone back, and they're going to have to lean on that. And I think they got it there.
Even got a little low, and so the roll under makes that double thinner and harder to stay buried.
Think so.
1, 2, 3. Important to move that yellow Mouat stone far enough back to
Might get a double.
sit 3.
Easy peel.
Mouat comes down to the other end. And I think those Scottish fans, that those chants are kind of etched into my mind after being in Moose Jaw. They're still at it. So kudos to the Scottish fans who have made the trip, because they put in quite the shift in Saskatchewan as well.
Louder.
Bruce Mouat with his first in the 6th.
Whoa. Curl.
Looking for a thin double here. Gets it, but Homan's still shot.
Counters.
There they are.
No quitting those fans, and now, as you could hear Hammy say there, that's a lot of counters in there. It's true, Hammy, but none of them are counting. Rachel just needs to get this one buried somewhere and should have the force on at worst.
Top 4? No, I think that's, well, I'm just worried that he'll be able to chase, but.
We're shot though, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Little higher is okay. We need
like
to touch
fighting
8 foot.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think for
I think 14 and a half to tee.
haven't drawn a draw yet?
Okay, so actually quite similar to practice. It hasn't changed much.
Yeah, I threw a 15 and it was top 12, probably the same.
Keep your
Got to be careful with this one if you're Team Homan. Trying to lock this thing down in the 6th end without hammer. Don't mind a carryover at all.
They want to put everything on the line for the last couple of ends.
Pass it there. Looks light. Go. 5. Low line. Weight's close. 5 away. Other side of center, guys.
Rachel Homan following this rock down, and Miskew and Wilkes trying to drag this thing in. They're going to have to lean on this thing now. Did they wait too long? Trying to get it there. Did they drag it far enough?
We've seen that spot die all game. It looks like it's red. They just tapped the red stone, so
Go for 1.
I think, yeah, Bruce is trying to figure out a way to get 2, but I think this is a carryover.
Yeah, but it goes like onto that now. I know. I'm not Rachel.
Somebody from the
Give
crowd
it a
says
go.
Rachel would make it.
Even if we spin in for a shot.
Yeah.
Looks like a third quarter.
Do you like a draw?
I think Bruce
Have to take
knows that no
something
matter
off.
what next end, he needs to win the next one. And even if they go up a steal
Quarter,
here, he'd
even if
probably
we
rather
stuff
have
it
the
and kinda
hammer.
roll into the
Sounds to me like he watched Wayne Madon and Kevin Martin play skins back in the day.
It's there.
quarter.
Okay.
This is not a shot that I would be playing.
Quarter?
Yeah. But a fashion statement you might show off. You'd be drawn, Jen?
I would probably play for the carryover. This is very tough.
Yeah. Mouat's going to take it on. Angle raise double.
Curl.
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 Here we go. Not going to get it. And guess what? That's going to mean a steal for Team Homan. They're on the board. $2,000, 2 skins. And the home crowd loves it. They're on the board. And the ante is being upped for the 7th and 8th end coming right up.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Homan, Mouat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and off-break curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Homan is on the board. The crowd loves it. We're settling in for the last 2 ends. Robbie Doherty, down to you for an update.
Exciting news here at the Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes. We just heard from our good friends at Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. They loved what was going on, and they decided to kick in an extra $2,000 per skin in the 7th and 8th end. So now each end will be worth $3,000 a piece. So a big thanks to our great friends at Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual.
All right, Robbie Doherty, letting the crowd know, and they like that because it's just going to make things a little bit more interesting as we settle in for the 7th end of this Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the World Champions, #1 ranked Team Homan versus #1 ranked Team Mouat, 4,000 to 2,000. And now, just like that, with the Mr. Mike's addition, Homan could take a lead here.
It's not over yet.
It's so much fun.
I'll say we've got action, as they say in rounders. Not a lot of action yet, but we have action. We're in the 7th end, and the flip side of what I said earlier, when you feel like you've been beat all game and it's just going to go the wrong way. The flip side is Team Mouat's like, we've been kind of controlling this game, and we haven't won anything yet. We lose, carry over here and lose 1 end, and we lose the game.
Real tight.
And it just feels,
15-3.
correct me if I'm wrong, that the momentum is squarely now on the side of Team Homan.
Yeah, I would agree. You can feel the momentum change. That was a big,
Of course you would agree. Come on.
it was a big skin.
Bruce missed that by an 1/8 of an inch. Unlucky, as they'd say.
Impossible shot too. Like he
Impossible, yeah.
he almost made it. Yeah. He's amazing.
And of course, hello to all the curling fans tuning in for this. Wherever you're watching from, we hope you're enjoying this special game. It really is. When you, I can't recall a time when you've had, you've had Battle of the Sexes games before. I believe this is a 13th in the history of curling, but never world champions at the same time. And of course, there have been some high-profile Battle of the Sexes games over the years. Billie Jean King playing in that one, 1973, and I feel it's fitting that this game is playing here because, of course, Billie Jean dropped the puck in this exact building for the start of the PWHL. So it all feels fitting that this is playing out here with these two great teams.
That is how you weave a story together, Devin.
I'm trying. And I'm really happy to be here. I wouldn't miss it.
Do you go around everything, Brent?
I think so. I mean, you threw this 2 centers for a reason. That one top 8 with the ice curling as much as it is. You get one back 4. You want a bit of a pile up in the back of the 4-foot. Watch for that tight corner guard to be in play at some point for an in-off for one of these human highlight reels. Four is, you're the coach, that's not hard enough, right? That sounds like top 12.
It's not quite hard enough.
2.5. Okay.
2.5 is definitely not hard enough.
I don't hate this result for Team Homan, though, quite honestly.
And of course, because Homan stole the 6 end and the 2 skins, Team Mouat obtains hammer here in the 7th end. And that value of this skin goes up to $3,000. So Team Mouat can find a way to win this. They'll win this thing. Team Homan wins this skin. All of a sudden, after trailing for the majority of the Battle of the Sexes, they'll find themselves up going to the final end.
Line's good.
And then
Line's good.
Team Homan's title sponsor calls in and says we've got an extra 5,000 for the last end, I think.
Fight the forfeit.
Line's good.
Well, that's possible. That'd be great fun.
Well then.
Everybody wants to see this come down to one big shot, and whoever has the last rock, we want to see them make it, no?
This needs to stop. And it's not going to.
Follow it down. Right? Yep. Homan puts a broom down. And now Emma Miskew is going to try and follow that Lammy Stone right there and lock one on.
Whoa, whoa. 6. Line's good. Yep. 5. Yep. 6. Hard. Hard, sir. You gotta go. Hard.
They're leaning on it. Wilkes and Fleury trying to keep this thing going, trying to make it real good. Off it now. This is absolutely perfect. They're bringing it now.
Got Mouat Bale in here thinking of blowing this up. I thought they might freeze first.
2/3.
Red, yellow, blow up the back red, and probably roll behind the corner guard to lie one buried here.
Sounds about right.
Lammy's going to try and open something up as Homan ramps up the pressure here in the 7th. He's going to run it basically by everything.
Rachel's got to be leery of that top 8 yellow rock on the outturn side.
They could probably chase, so maybe we put it back. Like real tight. Touch the line.
That's what I was thinking.
He's gonna have either one. Yeah. Well, just that one. Do we draw around like top 12?
Yeah, I like that. Like with the out.
With the out turn, yeah. Okay. I think that's there. I like this.
Just a reminder, of course, these teams picking a charity for this game. Team Homan for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation and Team Mouat for the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser. Charlie, 19 years old, in a battle with cancer. He's followed the journey of Team Mouat. Grant Hardy telling me before the game, Charlie was sending them notes of well wishes throughout the World Championship. And Charlie, we're sending you all of our well wishes.
4, just curl. 3. Line's good. Okay, whoa. Let it die. Weights. Yep, yellow line. Yellow line. 3, 4. Yellow line. Top 8. Curl.
For 2 it. Ooh, bad judge.
Don't want to line this up.
Did they get away with it?
Close.
For now, because it's buried, but eventually if you hit that on the center line side, and even with a tap.
Might drag.
It might. Devin, when you guys fired me for an end, I found out that an old curling friend of mine, Richard Wood, is actually the stepfather of Charlie. So another curling connection. I played against him in the 1998 Canadian Juniors.
Back four. Light.
Yeah, that just hammers home the point that forget 6 degrees of separation in this great roaring game that we all love. And I think that is why we love it, right? Felt like a family reunion for me back in Saskatchewan. So wonderful to see the fans out there.
Needs to go for no double. That's sneaky good. Rachel can't leave that yellow there, and yellow's second and third.
Just overswept that a little bit. You don't see that very often.
She has no choice but to make that, I don't think. And this lined up perfect too, the red. You can see Rachel. What do we got to do out here?
Would you like? We got to deal with this. Like, we couldn't guard it. What do you guys
And the kids are here.
guard
Young
it.
crowd tonight.
This doesn't help us.
Downtown Toronto, Mattamy Athletic Center.
We just guard that rock?
On the campus of Toronto Metropolitan University. Ran into some of the students earlier today. They were buzzing about this game. They knew about it as well.
This is pretty good. The yellow out any good? Goes into it. What? Rolling out?
Jennifer Jones and Brent Laing surveying the house here. I love watching you two in the booth because I see your curling minds turning up here.
I don't see any good shots for Rachel. Like that accidentally turned out really good. Got 2 to get it, kind of get him here potentially.
I don't mind trying to hit and roll frozen, not throwing it very hard. They're throwing the guard. I don't know if I love this.
Would you ever play on that red, yellow?
That's an option for sure, Devin. And just kind of softly and
rearrange some things.
Leaving this here, I'm with you, Jen, is asking for trouble.
Yeah, line. Lots of line. Oh, it's okay. 4. You're going to have to curl maybe a little, Sarah. Curl. 4. Curl.
It's way out there right now.
It's just heavy, I think. It will curl. It's just too much weight. They might get lucky on the guard.
Corner freeze it. Corner freeze it on this one.
Well, that was weird.
That's not actually very bad.
You saw Bruce kind of nodding and like, okay, I guess, yeah, that worked out. After Rachel said that was weird. It's pretty good, eh?
It's not terrible. It might be able to kind
So you have this.
hit it high and then, split it off that way.
Plan D.
You might stick it right here.
Trying to always just sticks.
Yeah. I mean, you
try and skinny it.
Yeah.
Which way?
Even if you do this, Brent, it's okay.
Like really thin. Just to. If you nick this on the way by.
Better using the 5 or
into the
not?
world. I want to keep the 5 in case we need it.
Yeah.
Thin quarter.
Doesn't that just
an
stuff
inch,
right there?
It looks like it. I mean, it depends how high you hit it.
Even if it
what
does,
if we
it's
put a
okay.
yellow one right on the
Still have
top of the
this.
button, just biting the button just past the other yellow so that this red just goes into the side of that and kills the other red. And I think if you drew one perfectly there,
Play this. Close.
you might.
Then she noses it, I think.
True.
Do this. Try and leave the 6.
That's silly.
It's not there. It's very hard. Like this.
I think if you plant it on that,
Stick it there. It's maybe a better angle.
opens up a couple of options for us.
A reminder, if you're just tuning in, with hammer to win
Don't
the
even know
skin,
if
you
it's
got to
there.
score 2. You obviously
we're
win
trying
the
to hit it
skin if you
super thin,
steal.
like into
That's
the
what Homan's
other red.
trying to do. Their shot rock
catch
right
it.
now as we get late in the 7th end. Mouat in complete control throughout this game, but it's
we might do that.
turned around in the last end and a half as Grant Hardy gets set to throw his last.
Heel.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Good.
moving everything. And I guess it didn't jam right there, did it?
It did not, but it did open up a freeze for Rachel Homan.
Believe that was a hog line violation, but we'll let it slide.
Oh, we've got a hog line violation attempt here from
I was about to go just kick it off. I don't know.
Emma.
Great shot.
Sounds desperate from the ladies, doesn't it? A little. They've got a good opportunity here.
Listen. If it was a hog violation, it was a hog violation. Where's the umpire to enforce the rule?
They don't enforce it anyway.
Jen.
Well, they don't.
I set you up for that, and you took it. Outstanding.
I just hangs open and he just slashes it in. I've filmed this line a lot, like a little wider than this, and I've gone to center every time.
The banter between Hammy and Emma.
Tracy definitely was there, like,
All
she
right.
made sure.
They decided on that freeze, eh, Jen?
Yes, they did.
I think that's close.
Yeah, that weight will be good. It looks like a high force.
Yeah.
It did.
I think you can err on being on the wide side of the break.
Wonderful look inside the Mattamy Athletics Center, Maple Leafs Garden. Obviously, so many wonderful sporting moments, entertainment moments playing out in this historic building over the years. And now playing host to the Battle of the Sexes, world number ones taking on each other, and Rachel Homan trying to weld one on with her first here in the 7th end.
Feedback button. Feedback button. Needs to curl. Go. Needs to curl.
Miscue and Wilkes going on this thing, trying to drag it and carve it at the same time. Still going on it. Look at Wilkes bring this thing right down to the face of it. The crowd loves it.
Really nice.
On top for now.
Just release it and sit on top.
Yeah.
She maybe has a triple that way.
Take that, boys!
Yeah, think so.
Just trying to release it this way.
A rowdy bunch as we get late in this game. Looks like
13.
you can probably get to the
hold on,
inside
boys.
of that.
I think what he's trying is to
13.
get to
Nose.
about
Sure.
7/8 of it and just free up
13.
the back yellow, leave it 3rd or 4th shot, and have shot rock be here and not removable. And then he's got this one on the left side to run in later, or that corner guard we talked about earlier. They'll have a bunch of ways to get in, and Rachel will probably have to throw something really precise.
This is a big shot, though. If he misses this, it's likely a steal for Team Homan.
Back it!
The stakes are high here in the 7th end. This skin worth $3,000.
Clean.
Hair light. Clean.
Back foot.
Whoa,
Curl.
back it.
They're
Really
trying
good
to
at curl,
carve
guys.
this thing in there now. They're the best in the world to do it,
Straight. Hard.
and they're going to make it happen.
Shot.
Lost it a little on the over curl there. If that was a hair higher, that would have been better. Still pretty good, though.
Really good. The red stone is now open at the back.
If we freeze, well, he could just tap it into it for 2 maybe. Yeah, do you want to freeze again? You got it.
Same shot.
Sounds like it. Freeze right on the
Oh,
nose.
same line,
And Bruce will have to draw the side of the button to the 1/4 inch.
A little bit better.
But I think it might be there, depending
Same weight
on
and
how
just
this
a little
one's
less
made.
speed. Yeah.
A reminder, you can't use that sweep stopper. They're all out of them now, but they couldn't use them on skip stones because depending on what happens here, you might have want to use it on Mouat's last. But Rachel's got to make a perfect freeze here to try and shut the end down and send it to the 8th end with everything on the line. First to freeze.
Little less. No, it's more. Nice. 5. Room. Okay, go ahead then. If you think. Room. You got room. Little light. Go ahead. Right on it. Room. Yep. Yeah, everything. Yep. Hard line.
They're going to work for this.
Hard line.
They're going to work on this one again, Miscue and Wilkes.
Keep going. Hard line. Okay.
It's not there, so they're just trying to throw a guard now.
That's fine. Okay.
And I think this tap looks easier to me, but maybe not.
No, I don't know about that.
I think you can
just
just
draw
come
right to it.
Almost spin off.
Sure.
Is theirs in the white?
Sorry?
Is theirs touching
Just
the white?
touching white.
Oh yeah, we can come through, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, come to the right. Ours,
Yeah. You can even come to the nose, you're probably okay.
I got 15.
If you get you close. Yeah. Like to see maybe that car. Aye.
All right, you heard the decision.
Okay.
They've got enough room to play right down to it.
You just need a hair off that one, Bruce.
And that would end it.
Off it. Yeah, not much. Not much. Like, set that the whole way and it was only back 8. So you probably throws close to tee.
Yeah, sounds good. What do you think, like that? Ice?
Ice is good.
That's good?
I think it's good.
Okay.
I like it.
They don't seem too concerned here. I love how they communicate. Never too high or too low, and just straight to the point. And Bruce.
Welcome back inside the Mattamy Athletics Center. Technical difficulty, but we are here to tell you.
Bruce made the most unbelievable draw. Great draw. Not the most unbelievable.
I mean,
but a very nice draw.
Had to bring it in there. Hammy carved it in. They raised the brooms. They made the shot. They cashed in, and for all intents and purposes, ended this thing because the 7th was worth $3,000. So that's 5 skins to 2 skins, 3,000 more on the line for the charities. And Homan has the hammer in the final end. $7,000 to Team Mouat, $2,000 to Team Homan.
Stay tuned. You never know when somebody phones in a little bonus, or Mr. Sulsky swings by and says, "Just kidding, we've got X."
I'm on my toes here for whatever might happen next.
But what a shot by Bruce Mouat. Hammy and Lammy judged it kind of perfectly, and like you said, one of the best draws I would ever make in my life. But for Bruce, it's just a Monday night.
Last end, 8th end of the Battle of the Sexes.
And Team Homan still playing for their charity. Want that $3,000 for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation, and same with Team Mouat. They want the extra cash to give to their charity.
Two perfect shots by Hammy Jr. again. Sarah needs to get this one buried behind the corner guard, but that center guard is high and so good that it's almost in the way for the come around. So they've switched to draw in the center here, which is not their ideal play. Don't want to go to the center so early and create something they can bump back behind the button, I think is the main reason for that.
And of course, after this game here tonight in Toronto, we hit the reset button and hit launch on the Players' Championship, the last slam of the year. Tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Jacobs versus Epping, White versus Dropkin, Fujisawa versus Ha. And guess what? Team Homan right back out here after up against Schmirler. So that's 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, and then we're into a full slate of games.
Okay, you ready for this? And if you get it right, we're going to give you some swag from our good friends at Rio Mare. Okay, you ready?
Team Homan searching for their first Players' Championship. They've won all the other slams multiple times, but have never won the Players here. 3-time runner-up, so a little extra probably motivation for them to get the not get it rolling, keep the train rolling.
Yeah, 17-time Grand Slam winners. I think we were all surprised to see that they still have yet to win the Players. 3 times a finalist here in Toronto. You know they want to add that feather to their cap after what has been another remarkable season. 6 losses all year, another Scotties title and another World Championship title. What a year for curling it's been.
Teams are just getting better and better and making tons of great shots.
For an autograph session. Congratulations.
I'm trying to freeze one right on shot rock here. Set up an easy way to get rid of shot rock as it's behind a wall of almost 3 center guards. Ended up far enough that maybe has 2 ways to get it on both sides now, so. It's fun to watch curling evolve this year. I mean, the curling group has done a ton, but around the world, it continues to grow. We're leading into that little sporting event called the Olympics next year, which always creates a ton of buzz. Nobody gets more coverage than curling because we curl every day at the Olympics. There's a curling game on, which is pretty awesome.
And before
it starts, there's a couple mixed doubles.
Yeah, 2 days of competition, mixed doubles, and then, of course, a medal to hand out, I believe, day 3 of the Milano Cortina 2026 Olympics, and then we're right into the 4-person tournament. Yeah, it takes up about 50% of the broadcast time, and all the other sports take up the other 50. It's truly incredible.
It's a sport where you're a busy journalist if you cover, hey?
Yes. I've always said that curling beat, it'll grind you down, and there's never a dull moment, and including this year with so many of the team changes and conversations around the sport. And of course, it's all going to crescendo in Halifax with the Olympic trials, and next season a full slate of slams go into the United States as well. Lake Tahoe, the game is growing, the international audiences are growing, and it only means good things for the sport. Emma Miskew now with her last stone here in the Battle of the Sexes.
Sure sounds good. She'd love to hold the shooter, but I think it's going to be too thin for that. Crowd's still into it here, wanting Team Homan to end on a high note and give them what they want.
Grant Hardy with his first in the 8th end, just trying to move these rocks around. Location, location, location. Team Mouat, $7,000. Team Homan, $2,000. They're going to go that money to their charities of choice, Sandra Schmirler Foundation and the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser.
Bruce is apologizing because he didn't sweep that red stone, and I don't know, did it stop in time?
Hammy thought they were all right, but the action's still in the middle for now, but that could, you know, skips fall asleep at the wheel sometimes right back there.
We sure do.
Looks like there's lots of room with heavy hack here to hit and roll. Shooter buried and everything else happens real good. Even if you don't kill anything, the key is that shooter buried top 8 will be nice. I'd say this is Tracy's forte.
Yep.
It is. She's so good at these.
Although
She's becoming a very good hitter, or
she's good
she
at
is a good
everything.
hitter, not becoming.
Trying to curve this thing in, get across just a bit. That works.
That's very good.
Yep. I think Hammy's had an ongoing conversation with a bunch of people. You can see him there.
He's one of the, I don't call him a trash talker on tour, but he's one of the talkers, we'll say.
Yeah.
Looks like the players are intense, but having a good time out there.
You know they wanted to put on a show. Absolutely.
And I can promise you that nobody on this sheet of ice wanted to lose tonight. This isn't good.
And I've just received word, and if this last end is a carryover, we'll see a draw to the button.
If you're the skip, Jen, do you skip around that situation and make sure you get after it, or do you want to throw that shot?
I want to throw the shot.
That's why you skip. I don't want to sweep it, though, so can we? I might nudge, nudge. Let's try this triple angle double raise.
Again, to win the skin here in the 8th, Homan needs 2 with hammer. It's simple for Mouat, just steal it, and you got it in the bank. And if Homan only scores 1, we're going to a draw to the button.
They are close to running out of time, and I think that timekeepers have been friendly.
Yeah, I would agree. But Team Homan's down. They still have a timeout to be called, or 2 timeouts.
Tracy Fleury with her last, trying to chip it over.
Uh-oh.
Not sure why they threw that so hard. That's a disaster.
I thought that was going to even go by everything.
Turn right to the top 4 foot, kind of splitting the center line, and then they'll have 2 ways to get shot rock out, and Rachel will have no way in.
He's chatting while Bruce is trying to throw. It's not his stone because it's an out turn. It's probably Bobby on the broom, but not distracting at all.
I think they asked him to miss, and Hammy was like, we can't. Like, literally, we can't. We don't.
Yep, they've been together for years. I'll never forget it. Las Vegas, their World Championship debut in 2018. I interviewed a bunch of Scottish lads who were ready to take on the curling world, and all these years later, they're the 2-time world champion, Olympic silver medalists, racking up the wins on the slam, and in the spotlight here tonight, making shot after shot in the battle of the sexes.
Looks like Red's shot. Would you agree, Brent?
It sure looks like it, but it looks like it's never going to be there, and you know, when this thing comes to an end.
Right.
So I remember the first slam they won was in Sault Ste. Marie, and they beat us in the quarterfinals, and we were like, who are these young punks, and how did we just choke so bad? Turns out they weren't that bad.
Wow, eh?
And maybe we were the punks, just the old punks.
We've got a timeout. Better late than never.
Mayday?
Yeah, this is always taking that. Like, try and get this, like, to here and shot somehow. Wait, thoughts? You might not be able to throw too much weight. Like you don't have a ton.
I don't
there.
need to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Like board. Yeah.
Yeah. We can hold this here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what did they land on?
Board weight, try and get low on this one and maybe bump the other yellow that is second shot out and keep their shooter buried and leave shot rock shot and maybe protect it. I think they found.
That sounds complicated,
I
Brent.
was
My
gonna say,
goodness.
if you have to take a breath to explain, it's probably complicated.
Well, I'm getting older and maybe not as fit as I once was. I think that's what they ended up with, though, but I think that's the best shot as well. So we'll see what they can come up with.
Here we go.
That was the call.
Rachel Homan with her first with hammer. Last end playing for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation, trying to add to that total. Sarah Wilkes leaning on it. Hey, I think that works.
Pretty good result for now.
Wait a second, how many timeouts do these guys get?
As many as Bonner wants.
Throw it away.
Wait a second.
So we're thinking a teapot.
Thank you. Thank you.
What goods we got?
Perfect.
Just spat.
I thought the snack break was already over.
It's the last time I'm going to tell you. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Everybody got it?
Got it.
We got it.
So how do we get it? That's up to you all. I'm not the one where you're making the shots. Okay?
Well, yeah, what are you guys thinking? I mean, it
Same
does.
throw?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
With a teapot.
You'd what? Yeah, just poke the 7, right? You got enough room?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she can only get 1 that way.
Hack weight.
I think you're throwing back 4 teapot, get close to those you can.
Teapot.
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 Teapot. Yeah, I like it.
Teapot, bring it in.
Teapot. Bring it in.
Teapot on 3.
Teapot on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Teapot.
That's a known set play in curling, of
You like
course.
one more?
Devin, you go ahead and explain it. The teapot.
Oh, wow.
Way to set him up. Way to throw somebody under the bus.
Yeah, I thought, teapot. I've heard that out of all my years.
Got to be an NBA term. No idea what that means.
No idea what that means. You gotta love it. There you get a look at the Scottish contingent, and on the right there.
Do you think you ever just throw a guard and go to the carryover?
The teapot, I think, is how he's going to throw this, potentially. He's warming up for a trick shot.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. They're having fun here at the Battle of the Sexes. And it's nice to see these guys have been locked in some serious battles. They're having fun out here on the ice tonight.
It's not bad.
And Homan is now calling timeout as well. This is feeling, actually it's fitting that Bonner is out there because this is feeling like the last 30 seconds of a basketball game right now with all of these timeouts. And now Pierre Heroux is coming out.
Yeah, we could
Heroux,
try
yeah.
something here. You could try the red. Do you ever think you could get here?
Could I ever throw a
What's he
spinner,
saying?
Pierre? You think this is here?
You're running out of time, Pierre Heroux.
That I was wondering about that because
I think they just said
Yeah, I
they're
think
using their
that's-
time.
that or you try this.
reminding them
Or
to use
just,
it.
I could throw a spinner right here.
Yeah.
Just
Do you think Rachel has a teapot in her?
I think this one's a little easier. We've seen some
Yeah?
walk over here.
Bruce makes it pretty hard.
She probably
They're all
does.
auto-
Whether she
Yeah.
does it or
What do you
not
like,
is
Rach? You're
probably
throwing
the.
it.
Chase, like that one looks
The
easier.
question.
Let's go.
Let's
Test
make
it. Okay. So
How
we're
much
buried
ice,
by
like here?
Quarter Rock.
Yeah? You guys like this?
Yeah.
Team Rana with their Team Homan hats on, nodding in agreement as Rachel Homan makes her way down to the hack and the crowd roars one more time. Is this a last shot of the Battle of the Sexes, or are we going to see a draw to the button after this? We're going to find out right after this. $3,000 hangs in the balance. Right now, it's a carryover. Homan trying to find a second point in a mass and mess of granite.
One for the super spinner coming in the side door to the button. Don't think that's enough spin, actually.
A Nicodine special, but yeah, probably needed a bit more spin. The crowd's going to bring this one home with Miskew and Wilkes
It's a bit like a normal in-pin from Rachel.
A lot of rotation. This looks close.
Speed looks good.
This looks close. And now it's taken a right-hand turn into the house, trying to find its way through. That's pretty good. But it's going to be a single, and that's going to mean a draw to the button. I don't think they know it yet. Oh, Pierre Charette is letting them know right now. I think we all wanted to see the draw to the button.
Who wouldn't?
Seems
All
fitting.
right, curling fans, we are going to have a draw to the button for the final.
Rachel can't believe it. She thought she was done.
That is coming up here momentarily. That's for the last skiing closest to the button for $3,000.
So Robbie Doherty over the loudspeakers here, letting everybody know this thing ain't over yet. $3,000 on the line. Either to the Sandra Schmirler Foundation or to the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser.
Who chooses the draw the button this time? I think they get to choose their own, and we're going to see the skips.
For their selected charities, Team Homan playing for the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. All their raised funds going to the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. And Team Mouat chose the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser. And all their
double down.
Draw the button coming up.
Who do you want to pick? I'll let you pick first. You stay in pink?
Stay in pink, yeah.
All right, so it comes down to this. World number 1 versus world number 1. Battle of the sexes, battle of the world champions. $3,000, a draw to the button. It's going to be Team Homan going first. And it's going to be none other than skipper Rachel Homan. Looking to put it on the pin right now, and you know this crowd would love that to cap off what's been a wonderful night here at the Mattamy Athletic Center as Homan delivers. All right. Miskew and Wilkes are going to lean on this one. They're going to try and bring this one right to the lid. Drag it for as far as it can go. Biting the forefoot. We'll get a measurement right now.
What do you want, like 14.5? 14.5 is perfect.
Yeah, same as.
48 centimeters is what is facing Bruce Mouat, and $3,000 to the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser as Mouat lets this one go, the last rock of the Battle of the Sexes.
A little narrow.
They are not touching it, Brent.
A little narrow though, so I'd be shocked if it slides too far.
14.3.
These guys are just going to do one more time what these guys do.
And they are going to guide this thing right to the top of the button. And that's a wrap. $3,000 more to the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser. That's a cap on the Battle of the Sexes. Team Mouat for the win.
What a fun event, and great playing by both teams for both tremendous causes. Sandra Schmirler Foundation and the Charlie Boys Fundraiser.
Shout out to the Toronto crowd as well, doing their part, making the atmosphere electric. As fun of a curling environment as you can see. We're starting to see this more and more, and I hope the same people come out all this week for the AMJ Players Championship, the final Grand Slam of the Grand Slam of Curling series. And we're going to bring you all the action on Home Team Live. Thanks for tuning in tonight as well.
The Players Championship is my favorite event. Was it your favorite event that we played?
Of course it was your favorite. You won it all the time. That's why Rachel hasn't won it yet, because you wouldn't let her so many times. Yeah, it was always a great event, and you know, we used to come down, have a little bonus cash too on the line sometimes, and being in Toronto, you know, the Jays are in town, they're playing, and lots of great restaurants, walk from the venue, and yeah, it's one of the places we get to go year after year, and that's kind of a rarity in curling. So awesome to be back.
And it all begins 11:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Team Homan back out on the ice in the opening draw. Team Mouat is going to be in the 3 p.m. draw. You better believe they are going to sleep well tonight. As we head down to ice level, Robbie Doherty with the skips of this battle.
I'm here with both skips. Bruce, you're the first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes champion. $10,000 in skins winnings for your selected charity. How does that feel?
Yeah, it means a lot to us. Our charity, a lot of people might not know, but it's a family friend are going through a tough time. Like he's got skin cancer, and we're trying to raise money for research and stuff. So yeah, it means a lot to us.
Very nice. And Rachel, didn't win as many skins as maybe you had hoped, but I'm sure you had a great time and you raised some great funds for a great charity. Talk about that and how important it is to your team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a lot of fun out there, and you know, the important thing is that we raised some money for charity, and you know, Sandra Schmirler is really close to home. You know, a lot of us have kids, young kids on the team, and have had to use NICU in the past, and I think everyone kind of knows someone who's needed it, so it's important to us for sure.
Well, there was one higher number on the scoreboard than the other, but both teams winners today here at the Battle of the Sexes.
Standing Robbie Doherty. Nice words from both the skippers. You know they were wanting to put on a show here tonight. Felt like they did that, raising funds for their two charities, and you know Team Mouat is going to sleep well tonight after what's been a pretty incredible 24 hours for that team. Both teams world champions this year.
Team Mouat may just decide to floor it again, Devin. They just won another big championship, and don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. I don't know how they rolled through Saskatchewan last week other than on the ice, but yeah, I think we'll probably run into them in the lounge for at least one celebratory beer. It's customary. I'm sure they'll have a beer with Team Homan after the game, but we'll thank them when we see them for all the entertainment.
All right, we'll take a quick break and right back after this with the check presentation as the fans start making their way out to wrap up the Battle of the Sexes here at the Mattamy Athletic Center in downtown Toronto.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Homan, Mouat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste meets little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
Welcome back inside the Mattamy Athletics Center. The Battle of the Sexes all wrapped up. Team Mouat with a big payday here today for their charity of choice. Of course, the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser, and of course, Team Homan charity, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. Two great causes. And now we're set for the check presentation down to ice level. Robbie Doherty.
Please join me in welcoming Darren McEwen and Jill Hopkins to accept a check for $2,000 to the Sandra Schmirler Foundation on behalf of Team Homan and their winnings at the Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes. And to receive the check for the Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser, a check for $10,000, will be Team Mouat accepting the check on the charity's behalf.
There it is, the money shot. $10,000 to Charlie Boys Cancer Fundraiser. Charlie, we're thinking of you. Of course, Sandra Schmirler Foundation. that puts a bow on the Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the World Champions, a sold-out Mattamy Athletic Center. Jenna, Brent, this was fun.
So much fun, and what a show these teams put on. They both played very, very well, made tons of big shots, great entertainment, and they just really embraced the atmosphere. Super proud of being a part of this curling atmosphere, and can't wait for maybe the next one.
I would agree. Give you a chance to get back into it. You're down 1-0 if you're keeping score, and we always keep score.
Team Mouat steals the show here tonight, 24 hours after stealing the show in Moose Jaw. That's a wrap on the Battle of the Sexes, and now we reload for the Players' Championship. The last slam of the year starts right here tomorrow in downtown Toronto.